we could cross-pollinate. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jason.
And Bill.
With another episode of Nothing's for Fucking Nobody. And today we have...
Change the name now.
Mr. Larry...
Artz.
Yeah, dude, sick last name, man. Artz, like A-R-T-S?
A-R-T-Z.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Shortened from a German name.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
really?
What was that?
It's like Archfelt.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping for something like way crazier.
Yeah. You sound like you're like you could be from New York City. Like, oh, that's Larry Artz over there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
you
a good
know?
one, yeah.
I feel like that sometimes.
Do you know that you're like you're from New York?
I definitely have an attitude.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
I hear you. So you guys, what's the deal here? What's going on?
Larry hit me up, wanted to be on the show, and I was like, fuck
well,
it.
How do you guys give me some back? What happened before?
Before the
Larry
show?
hit you up. Yeah. How did you guys?
Well, I mean, we've known each other for a very long time.
Quite a while now, yeah. It was like through like Jesse and Jack.
Yeah,
you know,
Panico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nick Panico, which that's a dude we got to have on this show too. Like
he hasn't been on the show
I
yet.
met him before, right?
Have
Really?
you? I don't know.
I think I met him once at Music Garage because you traded him a guitar. You bought a guitar from him or something.
Oh,
or
I know.
vice versa.
I got a cab from him.
Yes,
once.
something
Maybe it was
happened.
that. But yeah, he's a good
cool
dude.
dude.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah.
sure.
I believe it. All those people, Jesse, Jack, Larry,
Yeah.
and now everybody
They
I've
all
met
know,
has
like,
been
pretty good
Yeah, your
people.
friends are sick, dude. They don't make me nervous either, man. Some of my own friends just make me nervous.
Really?
Yeah, especially on this show, because anybody could say anything. You know, not like we can't edit it out, but it's still just like, how do I rebound from some of that stuff, man?
But I mean, I can't imagine you've done anything so incriminating that if you had a friend on this show and they
But they
said
could
something,
make something up too.
I'm not worried about
Yeah.
me. I'm worried about what they'll say. It's just about themselves.
Well, that's on them.
I know.
It still it reflects poorly.
Yeah, you
on the
know,
person
because it's like they're
bringing
my
it up.
friends on the
Oh,
show.
okay.
It's fine, though. Nothing really has ever
I
happened.
don't know. I hang out with some questionable people, and I don't mind telling those stories about them.
That's very true. You usually leave the names out, though.
I usually do take names out.
I don't. Or I just
No,
don't
I've
remember
taken names
to.
out for you, but
Yeah, you have.
Yeah,
I have
for
had
sure.
you. Recently, there was one where I was like, edit that out. I don't remember what
I
don't remember what it was either.
Last few shows we've done, there's been
Yeah.
some like editing done.
Is it a bleep or do you just like a hard cut?
We used to
Is-
bleep, but now I just like it
Yeah,
depends
because-
on the context. Because like,
Yeah.
usually it turns into
Hard cuts
like,
are funnier.
oh,
It's
I
like,
know. You're like, wait,
when all of a
something
sudden it's just like,
happened.
well,
Mhm.
we're gonna pretend that didn't happen.
But otherwise, we
Yeah.
have a little bike horn that we use. That, like,
Yeah.
I love that thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
To indicate.
Yeah.
You're good
Something
with the
weird
editing,
happened.
though. Because whenever there's a hard cut,
yeah.
it's like not that noticeable. I never notice it.
Yeah, it's now that we have the multicam, it makes it a lot easier and
Yeah.
smoother to like make those edits. Like there was one of the episodes I had to take out like 5 minutes of conversation because we were talking about somebody and we're like, yeah, this can't be out there.
Even if you bleep out the name, it's like, oh, everyone's
like,
gonna know from
they know
context.
exactly, yeah, for sure. And they're like, ooh, like
That's funny.
that's a
though.
sinking ship we can't let go. Yeah.
I was listening to Joe Rogan had an episode with Post Malone recently. Did
I
you
watched
see
some of that.
Yeah.
I didn't see the whole thing.
I'm not
but,
a big Joe Rogan fan, but he talked about Post Malone was talking about my friend's band Necrogoblicon.
That was early on too. I saw that. Yeah.
And it's
that was cool.
and he was getting all the first off, like I'm not a Joe Rogan fan for
Okay.
everybody pretty much knows that, I think, if you've listened to me ever talk about him. But I was interested when I saw that clip because I'm like, okay, that's really close to my world,
Do you
being
like Post
involved in
Malone?
this. He's okay. He's got a couple songs I don't mind, but
I like him more as a person than like I don't like his music too much.
Yeah, he
but
did
like
that-
he's got a great personality. Like his personality pops. And
yeah, he's a nice dude.
he did that Nirvana cover set.
Yeah,
that was
cool.
pretty fucking cool.
That was really
With
cool.
I actually kinda
Travis
like that.
Barker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
And somebody else.
I think Gobo was talking shit on that.
I think he was.
What a
It was fun.
kid.
I liked it.
It was
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Like he went for it.
Yeah.
So you got to give it to him.
Because
I
like,
saw-
isn't that dude's background in like hard rock and metal actually?
I think he
right?
learned guitar. I think he
He
played.
tried out for Pierce the Veil and didn't make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
They're like a huge pop punk band. But yeah, I've seen him in
He
pictures
was he
with
like a scene kid before. Or
yeah.
something?
Oh
Right?
yeah. And I've seen there was a picture of
How
him
old
with
is
some
he?
friends, and one of his friends is wearing a Rivers of Nile shirt.
He's got to be in his
Awesome.
mid-20s, right?
Probably.
Yeah,
that.
yeah, he's in his
That's
20s.
what I would assume.
I think
yeah.
so. Yeah.
That's funny. So wait, what was he saying about that band?
he was like, they're sick and their singer is a goblin. But the singer is not the goblin. The goblin is a separate character in the band that just is in the music. He's like their mascot.
Oh, so
but he's not the singer, no.
So like my Boston's, they have the guy in the suit.
Yeah.
These guys have a little goblin.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Does that guy go on the road with them?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. So
from what I've seen. Shows again, I'd like to see that actually.
Yeah. Their drummer, Eric, is a really sick dude. Adrian's known him for a long time. Because Eric's been in like a bunch of bands from Denver. Mm-hmm. He's been in Inferi. He's been in Veil of Nath. We played with them. That was our last show. He wasn't in the band when we played with them, but he was before. He's just an awesome drummer and a really nice guy. And he's been playing drums for Necrogoblicon for a while now. Like he did the last Warped Tour with them. They were on that. And like, and I believe they're unsigned. I believe they're not on a label.
Really?
Yeah. So I think all their money goes back to them. Yeah. And they're like really smart about that shit.
Huh.
Yeah. There's definitely some savvy guys. But yeah, I was just like, what the fuck? Why are they talking about Necrogoblicon on
what did
Joe Rogan
have to say?
He finds a way to get involved with whatever it is that you're into.
Whoa, that's crazy. You know, or that he'll be like, you know what, that's interesting. Or some shit like that where I'm like, oh my God, Joe Rogan, can you pretend not to be fascinated by everything for 5 minutes?
I don't know. Maybe that's just
it's just like, it is how he is.
Ben Shapiro one day, and then it's like,
and then they're talking about Necrogoblicon.
Next day, yeah.
He's had Neil deGrasse Tyson on his show.
I know.
Talking about a great conversation.
Yeah, they talk about like quantum physics, and then he's talking about Necrogoblicon. The kicker of it is that they're on shrooms the whole time. So they're all like Joe.
Yeah, they got really fucked up.
And you could tell because the pacing of the conversation is so like. It's like on 10 the whole time, but they just keep bouncing back and forth things that don't quite make sense.
Right, because they're not connecting the dots.
At some point, Joe Rogan's just talking about how fascinating it would be, of course, if aliens came down. He'd be like, we'd have no choice but to either mine coal for them or they would eat us. And it's just like, whoa, what are you fucking talking about?
He makes a good point, though.
Yeah. But it's sick. Like,
that's actually pretty valid.
I was thinking and I was wondering, I'm like, man, maybe this guy just had Post Malone on just to do like shrooms, you know?
It was an excuse.
I mean,
maybe it could have been. He's just like, oh, I like to.
Like I haven't done any hallucinogenics.
We're on shrooms, and he like mentions it at the beginning. I love podcast episodes when people are on shrooms, though. It's always the shit. There's a really good one of Joey.
I was just gonna say Joey Diaz.
And he did it with this comedian Theo Von that I love.
He's amazing too. Yeah,
Theo Von's awesome. Yeah. You got to see this episode. Funny. They both take shrooms before the filming of it, and like,
is that the Church of you know what's
up?
Yes.
Yeah. And what's funny is there's another video because like Theo has to leave the podcast after 2 hours because he's like, I got a set tonight. There's a video of the set and it's like Theo Von's magic mushroom set, and he's still on his fucking trip doing the set. Yeah, but he's like laughing, dude. He's like, he gets into it for sure after a certain point, but the first half of it, he's just like, oh man, and like wiping his face and laughing at his own shit and like not staying on track. It's really fun to watch that like back to back.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
You should. It's fucking awesome.
Great.
And Joey just starts saying shit that makes it's just like completely unhinged.
That's
it's really good. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, drugs are fun.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that Jewel Osco fucking mask.
Oh, do you like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I got a rep. I can't say what company I work for, but
is it not that company?
No, it's definitely a major grocer in the area, and nothing I say is representative. Company.
Fair enough.
Speaking of,
all right, listen up, Jeff Bezos, you motherfucker,
dude. Fucking speaking of Amazon, they took over like near my shop. They opened up a new warehouse over there, and you just see the trucks everywhere. Down where the old racetrack used to be.
That's an Amazon warehouse now?
Well, it's like multiple warehouses, but one of them is an Amazon warehouse.
Awesome.
That just opened up last week.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's not
awesome. Yeah, I don't know why I said
that. Dude, I just see the trucks everywhere now.
I'm sure.
It's insane. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, I'm not surprised. Jeff is just going to own the world.
One warehouse at a time.
When did monopolies become okay again? Like,
yeah, right.
I don't know.
When did that happen?
Yeah, I'm a fucking slave to Amazon, dude.
Most people are.
Oh yeah, I order everything on Amazon. I'm a hypocrite. 100%.
It's unfortunately so like convenient.
It's so fucking easy, man.
Like I had to order.
It's amazing.
Like how because like I had to order some hardware, and I usually order it from the company, but because they carry stuff on Amazon, I can get faster through Amazon.
Yeah.
So I was like, I forgot a piece. I'll just get it from Amazon.
Was it also kind of cheaper? It was about the same.
It's actually a little bit pricier for me to get through Amazon because when I buy it from the company, I buy a lot of stuff in bulk. So I save a lot of money doing it that way. So for me, it's just like a last minute.
Right.
Like I need
it tomorrow, and it's like, oh, look, it can be here tomorrow.
Yeah. Otherwise, if I go through the company and then like choose 2-day shipping, it's going to cost a ridiculous amount. So I'm like, well, Amazon and order some other.
Yeah, fuck, they have it.
Yeah.
You know.
Unfortunately, he didn't have it, so the case got built late.
I've been buying all the Meshuggah vinyls.
Nice
from Amazon.
Oh, you collect vinyl?
Sort of. I'm getting more into it. I'm big into CDs. I have like a fuckload of CDs.
I used to. I sold most of them to Reckless at one point.
Oh,
I needed
really?
money, and I got fucked.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
But I kept all my vinyls. Like, nice.
Yeah. Vinyl.
I've been collecting or I was like an addict.
Really?
Before I had a nice apartment. And I had bills to pay, so buying that shit like it was nothing.
Yeah, I still buy.
Like, $60 for a colored vinyl that's out of print.
Yeah,
sure.
Yes, yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, I've been buying all those because Meshuggah they remastered their shit for vinyl and then released them all last year.
Oh, and they were probably in limited. I'm assuming in limited quantities.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like,
that's
I
amazing.
better get them now, and I love that band, dude. So it's just like, guess I have to have them all.
Oh, does it have a hand printed number on it? Fuck yeah, I'm gonna buy that.
Unfortunately, it doesn't. It's just it's like comes with a sticker on it. Says like this is the brown edition, only 700 made or something.
That's fine
like
too.
That.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
So
Daughters released vinyl for the albums we were talking about. Actually,
House Songs and
self-titled.
Is that a new record or is it
the old
release?
their second and third releases. And,
I just recently got into Daughters.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And
I
was like, I might actually buy that vinyl. There's like two of my favorite albums. It was like sold out in like less than an hour.
Yeah, that's how that shit works.
And then you're gonna have to go on eBay and pay twice.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. That's how it works, dude.
I know. I'm like,
people make money doing that. Like, because when I was collecting vinyl, I would see that all the time. It's like you had to be there when it dropped, or some asshole is gonna buy 17 of them.
Exactly.
and sell them on eBay.
So, Tom actually picked up that a few years ago, but it was a Deftones like collection that they released every album on vinyl.
I saw that.
And he got that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm like,
I
was
did
so
that
jealous.
too.
Did they? That's
yeah,
awesome.
I wish I did that. But that's like such, because those could cost like
expensive.
$300, dude.
Oh yeah, and that's before
money.
people drive the price up.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's,
That's like retail price, which is fucking nuts. Misery Signals did that.
Did they?
Yeah, I didn't even think of it at the time, but I'm bummed that I fucking didn't do that. It's fine.
Next time.
Well, shit. So you guys know each other. How old were you guys? How old are you now? What are you, fucking 73?
Almost
dude?
75.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys the same age?
Well, I'm 35 going on 36.
33.
Okay.
So okay.
Approximately.
I'm 7, dudes.
Wow, you look great.
Doesn't look bad, right?
You look great for your age.
Beard's a little rough, but it's pretty
At 7.
Dude, my friend was like, what are we going to do for your 40th? I was like, whoa. I was like, slow down. I was like, you saying that gave me one more gray hair and my back just went out. Like, stop.
35?
Like, slow down. Yeah. I was like, I'm turning 36
Who asked
next
you
month.
that?
Alex.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus. I was like, slow down.
Yeah, whoa. Oh, man. Bill fucking
Not ready to talk
dude.
about my 40th.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So you guys met each other through that. Have you played in any bands?
I've played in band in college, like a jazz band.
Oh,
I actually studied jazz for a minute, and it's great playing jazz with people who want to be Stevie Ray Vaughan, because that's what it sounds
Stevie
like.
Ray Vaughan is sick, man.
No, he's great, but I mean, when you're taking jazz classes and you're just like, I want to be Stevie Ray Vaughan, it's like, you're not picking the right guy, I think. But other than that, it's like here and there I'd play like a one-off show, just playing guitar. I love it. It's just like I can't. I've never been able to like find people that wanted to play the same.
That's how it goes.
Because it's so specific and like odd. That it's like I understand that you don't want to do it.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah, man. Jazz is fucking wild. You ever see that movie Whiplash?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Did you ever have any teachers like that?
When? Like the one time I tried to take drum lessons? No, my teacher was the opposite of that. He was a stoner and
really?
Yeah.
Not intense at all.
Yeah, he was a huge stoner.
Who'd you take lessons from? The one
This
time?
dude, same guy Nick took lessons from at Triton.
Oh, okay.
His name was Steve. I don't remember his last name. It was M and long. Feel like I'm on a noir show right now. His first name was Steve. I don't remember his last name.
M, it's something long.
Yeah, dude. He was sick though. He was like, we would talk about fusion like all day. We would just like talk about our favorite fusion records, and he would show me how to play the parts, and I was like, this is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And then that was like, and then we'd be running out of time. That was a college.
Those are the
credit.
best. Those are the best
awesome.
teachers, though. I had one that I don't think we ever played guitar. He found out, like, I was recommended to him because I was just like, I don't know, I want to play like Boredoms and
Okay.
you know,
Never. That's a band, Boredoms.
yeah,
I've never heard of them.
it's just noise, like art punk noise rock, and it's like I want to play like that. And he was like, "Oh, we can talk about Naked City," and I'm like, "Of course."
Oh yeah,
Like,
I know that
that's-
band.
John
cool.
Zorn going crazy on the sax. And it's just like, yeah, let's just talk about that. We barely ever played guitar. We
That's
just,
awesome.
like, hung out for a minte.
Just talk.
Yeah, because they were just like, this guy likes stuff. Like, no one else can teach him. You take him.
Yeah. That's dope.
They're just like, well, we can just talk. And I'm just like, fuck yeah, let's do that.
I'm trying to think of other shit like that. Do you ever listen to The Body? Have you ever heard of that band?
Oh, that sounds familiar.
They're they're like one of the bigger noise bands I know of.
Yeah.
They're pretty dope. I saw them once and it was like way too intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I love about
It was cool though.
That's what is great about noise and like some of the more experimental stuff that I like. Like it's intense. It's like that's why I've always connected with like metalheads and stuff. 'Cause, like,
Sure.
you like intensity, and it's like I like intensity too. It's just not the same.
Right.
It's just like a little out there. It's like I like weird instrumentation, and
Sure.
atonal dissonance, like stuff like that.
Have you ever heard
But
of
it's the same.
Oh yeah.
You
Have you
know?
ever heard of Winters in Osaka?
Yes.
My
Yes, I
buddy
have.
played-
Fantastic.
Yeah, my buddy I don't know if I guess I could say his name. His name's Mike. He manages Rolling Stones records. He
shit.
did Winters in Osaka and it was really cool. I don't know much about noise. Like
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I always really like listening to
Dude,
it
that was
because
a
I think it's so
safe name
different.
drop. I don't think you have anything to worry about.
Have you
there.
ever heard of the metal? They're a death metal band, but have you ever heard of Portal before?
Portal I've heard of.
Dude, they're the shit.
I'm trying.
That's,
The only
the band
problem with
sounds like
metal is
nightmares.
that like it's so close to the stuff that I like, and I want to love it so much. And I when I hear metal bands I really like, it's like, I really like that. But
Sure.
it's like I'm going to become obsessed. Like I know it. I know myself. Like I become like I find something I like, and I'm like that's it. Like that's what I'm into for like the next like 6, 7, 8 months.
Hell yeah.
But I could do that with metal. It's like it's the same thing. It's just so many subgenres and stuff. It's like I want to dig into all of it. You know.
And he's
That's what I
the,
always do when I look-
subgenre master.
Me?
Yeah, you're good about it.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not
you
as
know
good
a
as
lot
I
better
used to be,
than
man.
I do for sure.
But
What is like as far as metal, like if I like the like weirdest, like most out there kind of stuff, what kind of metal should I be? That's gonna kind
I
of
would-
get me there.
anything that's like dissonant, anything that's like I would say at least for like death metal, definitely stuff like Portal, Ulcerate,
Okay, yeah.
some Gorguts.
Ulcerate, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Zrine is another really cool band. Imperial Triumphant is really cool.
Okay.
They just put out a new record. Danny said it was really good. I have not heard it yet.
That was one of the bands that like Danny was like, Bill, you'll love this. I was like, I don't think so, but all right. And I checked it out. I saved it, but I didn't check it out. And then it would pop on every once in a while. And I'm like, what
is
the
this
fuck
shit?
is
Yeah.
this? And I'm like,
That's what I
Imperial
love about
Triumphant.
music,
I'm like, I'm out.
I feel like you might
I-
like Behold the Octopus.
That's a
I've
fun
heard of them
one.
before.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't gotten into it.
Really cool.
I do like that. Like I'm not like sure what's going on. I like that
That's a good
surprise.
band.
Like
Yeah.
like that kind of like. You know, take me by surprise. It's like
Sure.
I don't want to know what's going to happen next.
Right,
in the
yeah,
song.
yeah.
I want a 12-minute long song that has like 17 parts.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
man. Oh, you might
Let it
like
go.
you might like Liturgy. They're like,
I do like Liturgy.
Do
Yes,
you,
yes.
dude? Have you heard that last album?
I haven't heard their most recent one.
Oh man, I'm about to tell you my whole experience listening to it for the first time. So get ready, man.
Yeah.
I was me and my bass player for my band Warforged, Alex. He was on the
last week's episode.
previous episode.
Okay.
I'm sure I've told the story on here before, but now I'm baked, so we're going in. We went to go see, have you ever heard of, there's a death metal band called Vader. They're a Polish death metal band.
Not familiar with. Vader.
They do really well in Chicago because of all the Polacks like me out here.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
it's like fucking their shows usually sell out here, and I don't remember how. I think maybe just through Shane, me and Alex got listed to the show because Vitriol was opening, and we really wanted to see them.
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
Want to see Vitriol. Hideous Divinity from Italy was playing, and I saw them their first time here with Aborted, which was great, and I was like, oh, I'd love to see them again. So we ended up going to the show. I got really high, and we decided not to stay for Vader because we were just so tired because we came straight from work. And like I live on the north side of the city.
Yeah.
So I'm getting on at Chinatown. I'm like, all right, I'm basically taking this whole fucking train back home. Great. You know, this is going to be a long night. Yeah. So like I took like a couple big ass rips off my pen when I'm waiting on like the fucking platform. And, you know, me and Alex were hanging out for a couple stops. He transferred over to the blue line when he could. And then I was like, all right. And I was like, man, I would love to. I'm so baked. I'm going to put on my noise canceling headphones and just listen to some weird record. And I'm like, oh, I saw Liturgy came out with a new album. And I was like, I've never really listened to this band before. But what I've heard, I always thought was cool. I'm just going to give this new one a go. Like I'm going in cold. And like, it is so fucking weird and cool that like, I literally didn't stop it front to back, and this whole like show on the train played out before me. Great. Like these two homeless guys got in, like literally the stop after Alex got off. So I'm by myself. There's not a lot of people on this train car, and I'm in my big yellow ass coat, that bright yellow coat.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there just like listening to the craziest metal album I've heard in a really long time, and I'm just like, but it's like I love it. I'm like, this is so fucking sick. So. All of a sudden, these two homeless guys get on the car. One of the dudes is like, has this like jewel bag, like, you know, like the plastic bag.
Yeah.
And he's holding it and it's full of some liquid.
I was going to say probably nothing from Jewel.
And he's like running kind of fast. And then all of a sudden, this other homeless dude who has like, he's got all he's wearing is a torn up winter coat that's just like around his body that he's just holding like this, and he's like, hey, and he's like running after the guy with the bag with the liquid. So the guy does a fake out and with the liquid bag and like gets off like at the very next stop. He gets off just before like the coat naked man could like figure out where he was, and he missed him. So like the guy got away from the coat guy.
Oh, wow.
And then the coat guy just looked so sad, and he sat like right in like a couple rows in front of me where I was just like, oh my God, this is making me so fucking uncomfortable. It's just so weird. And I'm just like, and I'm listening to this album that's just like insane, like psychotic sounding music.
You feel like you're losing your mind.
Yeah, and I'm just like, fuck.
You're
this
hearing
is like
the same thing they're hearing in their heads.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm just like, whoa, this is like a cinema right now, dude.
You watched a free movie that was fantastic.
It was very, and I just got off the train and I was just like, because that guy rode the whole fucking way past, because I get off at,
I just stayed on there
at Loyola. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did.
It's usually what a lot of these
He was upset that he lost his liquid bag.
Yeah.
Who even knows? We don't even know if that was his bag. He could have been trying to get it from the guy.
That's true. He's like, I want whatever is in that bag. I want it.
Dude, I will say though, because the liquid bag had drippings coming from it that were getting on the floor, but it didn't smell like anything. I will say that there was no scent, so there was no pungent, like overly like because the red line usually smells like a fucking nutsack armpit. Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, that was my experience listening to that record for the first time. And that's I highly recommend. Yeah, it was awesome, dude. That might be half the reason why I like that record so much. But it is really cool. Like I sent it to. That was like one of the first times I ever heard a metal record. And I was like, I could send this to 10 people that I know will love it, and most of them were like, "Whoa, this is fucking nuts." So yeah. But yeah, man. And now I listen to the Acacia Strain, and now I listen to Misery Signals, and now I listen to fucking. Kiss? I don't listen to Kiss. Yeah. I'm just baked. Take it away, Bill.
You don't have any more homeless stories?
Nope. Not now. I'm sure I do.
Something will come in, right?
The one time a homeless woman told me I was hot and that I looked like a what did she tell? I looked like a cat or something. Right. She was like, "You look like a big cat." And I was like, "Okay."
I don't know if that's the animal that I would choose to describe you.
I don't know either, man. But I was just like, you know what?
Not a cat. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
There are
of her to
other
say
animals
that.
that I mean that would be more accurate.
Yeah, you know, like one of those weird fishes that look like blobs
Yeah, they have a
when
beard.
they come up. And
Yeah, they look really.
yeah.
They look well put together and.
Hell yeah. Oh man, this is pretty good, man. This soda,
It's good, right?
Yeah.
Does it taste like a dreamsicle? A little bit.
A little bit.
It's like they took a creamsicle and they just dunked it in real quick.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's not that flavorful.
Yeah,
but
it's
good.
a smack of dreamsicle.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Forget I described someone once where I was like, yeah, the flavor is as if somebody ate that thing and then sneezed on the food. It was like barely there. I forgot
Really?
what it was. Yeah.
Ugh, man.
I like that description though,
Yeah,
because
right?
that could describe a lot of things that are supposed to taste like something else.
Like that weird
kinda not really.
secondhand flavoring.
Oh,
Like,
man.
fuck, dude.
It's like this is supposed to be spicy, but it tastes like it's got paprika on it. I don't know.
Dude, I have this is, I don't know why I'm thinking about this. I know why, because I'm high.
Baked, yeah.
But like, I was thinking about this video I once saw on like Facebook, but it was like this either a Korean or a Japanese show where it was like this woman was on a boat in like the middle of the ocean and they were catching these weird like crawfish and shellfish and things that she was just like, she would like take a big clam and like smack it with a rock and then open it and then like eat it.
Oh.
And she would like bite into like a sea slug and it would go like,
I've seen. Yeah, I know what you're talking
dude,
about.
it's so
yeah,
sick.
like that's her whole thing
So
is like
weird.
eating weird.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I feel like a lot of that
sea
stuff you
creatures
can eat raw. Like it's not gonna be.
Well,
an
if she's
issue.
still alive, then probably.
Yeah, so definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do that, man.
Yeah.
New
You-
subject
there's
on
go
the
get
way
some
show.
you would ever
seafood
do
and
that.
just eat it.
Yeah.
There's no way I would do that.
You
I
would
would
even
like.
eat pizza with more than one topping on it.
That's true. Hey, I do now though. I'm making
What's the second
strides.
topping?
What are you getting?
I'm usually cool with some sausage. I'm usually
All right.
cool with some pepperones.
right.
I even like the spicy pepperones sometimes.
Nice.
Love
Look at
barbecue
you.
chicken pizza with the
That's
onions,
a fun one,
barbecue
yeah.
sauce, and the chicken.
So you've really branched out.
yeah,
Like that's
nice. Good
much
for you.
different than cheese pizza.
But I
What
still
is this? Because of the new lady or what? What's going on?
no.
here?
It's probably. I don't know. It's something that I've like. It's more just like acclamation. It's
Okay.
just like stop being a bitch. Just fucking do what everybody wants, man. You got to learn how to be more of a team player.
Do what everybody wants. Slow down. That could be dangerous. But
No, but you know what I mean. Like I don't want to be like I need cheese only, like a
Right.
fucking 5-year-old. Dude, I'm 28, man.
Hey man, some people could just go on their lives like that.
But the new lady is sick because she'll just be like.
Did she call you out on that stuff?
She probably maybe after this she will, but then she'll like
Yeah.
do something cute about it or something, and I'll be like, "Oh, you're fine."
And then next thing you know, you're eating raw fish.
Yeah, she loves sushi, so
Oh, nice.
I don't because I'm scared of it, man. How am I gonna eat raw fucking big?
They
Yeah,
You
it's
can
not.
get
It's not
where-
raw.
not all of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can get stuff where it's like fried
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
I've heard that. How would we even get those weird giant clams and rocks to smack them with in here? That would be like insane if we could just
Dave
make
would be
that
like, "Get
happen.
the fuck out."
Spend $1,000 to
probably
have it
eat it.
shipped.
Yeah,
Like the ice is melted, but I mean it's cold.
yeah, very true. Wow, this joint set me up, dude. Fuck,
I mean, you probably wouldn't even eat oysters, probably, right?
no way.
I wouldn't even. I don't even like. I'm good.
Yeah,
It tastes like salt. I mean, it's,
Really?
yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
Put
it's
some
a
olive
texture
oil
thing,
and like,
though,
some
ooh,
hot sauce in there. And
really.
It's not bad.
Or
You
like
cook the
lemon-
oysters?
no,
What?
they're raw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
they're
like,
just
shuck 'em.
salty. It's just like salty. It doesn't really taste fishy, but it's like weird. Like the experience of like taking a shell and like sucking the.
yeah, see,
fucking
it seems
meat out
weird,
is
and I've heard it like texturally. It's like
It is
like
snotty.
it's not exactly.
Yeah,
I didn't want to say that, but I was like, yeah,
A little
that's
bit.
what I've heard from so many people. Like
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah,
That's
it's like
funny.
this
but it
snot,
tastes
like-
it tastes fine.
Yeah.
Like I threw hot sauce on there. I'm like, I'm good.
Oh, that's cool. Hell yeah. What about mussels? Have you ever had those?
Mussels I've never had. That seems like work because you have to make it into like a dish. It's like you don't
Yeah.
just eat mussels.
Yeah, that's the
No.
whole thing. But
Have you ever had
It's like
mussels?
I can cook.
dad
I
had
like
it.
to cook, but it's like that seems like a fucking process.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
work.
those
right?
things are
Yeah.
weird.
You have to cook.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where like it's easy to fuck
And if they
up
don't
to cook.
open up, it's like it's garbage. Just throw it out.
Yep.
It's
yeah,
like so
yeah.
you get maybe 3 good ones.
Like, yeah, where's
It's
the
no
fun?
meat.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but no, my dad's had it before, and he used to like not like it, and then when they were in Jacksonville visiting some family, somebody they knew was like a chef, and he cooked it. And my dad was like, "Holy fuck!" He's like, "It tasted like steak."
Wow.
Yeah, he said it was really good. I was like,
I think you have to have somebody who knows what they're doing with it.
Yeah.
Because seafood sometimes, like the only time I've ever liked seafood, I was in Florida. You have to get it fresh. I mean,
that's the other thing. Getting it fresh.
Seafood you get out here, it's like, I mean, if you're really
taking
into
your chances
it,
out here, yeah, for sure. You
can't get anything fresh though.
No, but the best fish I ever had was when I went to the Virgin Islands. They would literally catch it like that morning, and then cook it up that afternoon.
They probably cleaned it like an hour and a half before you ate it.
It's so fucking good. Like,
what did you get?
Just whatever white fish they usually would have on there. It was like awesome. Like fish tacos are like the best. No matter where you went on that island, like the fish tacos were gonna be good. Like, it was crazy. Sick. Yeah.
I've never had a fish taco.
You do fish ever?
Yeah, sometimes. Like I'll do whitefish or fried fish or something like that.
Yeah.
A good tilapia.
Sure, probably.
That's a whitefish.
Yeah.
But tuna, you fuck with tuna?
Fuck no, it smells so weird.
Tuna actually, as far as fish, it doesn't taste like fish.
Really?
It's not fishy at all.
Yeah.
Well, just you guys gotta admit that smell is kind of stanky, dude.
I don't know. I don't think tuna smells bad.
Like
that's one of those smells
it doesn't
for me.
Smell bad to me. It's a distinct smell, but I wouldn't say it smells bad.
Well. That one would take me like you'd have to like tase me into trying it or some shit.
You gotta have like actual like tuna steak,
dude.
Like, if you cook a tuna steak, dude, it doesn't smell like the shit.
I would love it. I would try that. I would definitely try that.
Good. Yeah.
Because I've heard grilled tuna is good too.
Yeah,
I would try that.
It holds up on the grill. That's the great thing about it. Is like it's a thick like meat. It's almost steak like.
Sure.
How it cooks up.
I see. Because like can of tuna looks like cat food essentially.
Yeah, it's already broken up and it's got oil and salt. I mean, it's salty as fucking hell.
Yeah.
Too salty.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to fuck with it, man.
I mean, it's nice because like it's in a can and it lasts like for fucking ever.
Right, and you could just eat it. It's good
you can
to
just
go.
pop it right out of the can. Like,
it's like how bad do you feel about yourself that day? It's like maybe I'll just eat some tuna.
My sodium intake's been awfully low. Maybe I should
do I want 78% of my sodium in the first 5 minutes of my day? Sure, I do.
Yeah, dude.
Some soy sauce.
Dude, get some fucking McDonald's fries and dip them in the tuna.
Dip them in the tuna.
Yeah, just like scoop them.
Just immediately. It's just like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, did I want to die today? I'm definitely gonna.
You're like immediately dehydrated.
Yeah. Oh, man. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how that happened, but that was
one of our many.
Yeah, let's talk more about tuna.
Yeah.
Hey, dude.
Welcome to Tuna Talk.
Yeah, man. Another new segment on our show.
Yeah. Just try different kinds of tuna.
Yeah.
See which one Jason likes. What's when you think of tuna, what's the first brand that comes to your head?
Either chicken of the sea or starfish.
Okay. Nice.
Those are the two right answers.
Yeah. I remember because when I was a child, I would go to the museum. No, it was the kids museum at at Navy Pier. And they had a little grocery store simulation. And I would get, and they had like plastic versions of the starfish tuna cans, and I'd shove them all in my cart.
You were all about it.
I'm getting the most.
I'm getting all that tuna.
Yeah.
All the tuna.
And I didn't even like tuna either. So it was just like,
you
fuck.
Just wanted that.
Yeah. Well, I thought, I was like, well, maybe like I could trade with people, you know? Like maybe some people wouldn't want a loaf of bread. They would want a can of tuna. It wasn't instead.
Like a supermarket sweep where you got to get the most expensive items. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like that. That would be sick though. Awesome. Kids supermarket sweep at the fucking Children's Museum and fucking Navy Pier where you have to sign a waiver.
That would be fun to watch. Yeah, those kids wouldn't know what the fuck they were doing.
It'd be so funny because they have no idea of like price wise. They're just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
It's like ramen's got to be really expensive. Right. Like, no, it is not.
The parents are like yelling at him. They're like, what are you doing?
Get the olive oil.
God damn it!
Look at you. Damn, man. You want the rest of this joint?
Not at all.
Bill? How much money would it take if I like had all the money in the world?
Nope.
No,
That's
man.
a good answer. She's like, yeah, no.
What are you, like Jamie Josta with your willpower?
Straight edge.
And your strength? I don't think. Oh, he is now, I think, sober. He definitely didn't used to be, though.
He drank a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I love when he talks about drunk shows on his podcast. Have you ever listened to Jamie Justice show?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
pretty
amazing, though.
Yeah, he's definitely like kind of white trashy, which is funny.
That's fine. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
As long as I don't have to live next to it, it's great.
Right.
No, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But he, man, fuck, I'm so baked. What was I just talking about?
Jamie Johnson,
Yeah.
the drunk shows.
Yeah, he talked about, he had Scott Vogel from Terror on his show, another hardcore band. And they were talking about like Jamie Johnson was telling him about the story about how they got banned from like Washington, D.C. because they like, I guess Hatebreed does like call out sets. So it's just like, they'll have the audience literally pick the songs, or they'll just like,
Nice.
what do we want to play?
Yeah.
Like they never plan sets. They're
Yeah.
the only
That's
metal
awesome.
band I've ever heard of that like does shit like that.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I
it's
like that. I
wild.
like when bands do that. That's awesome.
And they have a big catalog, so it's just kind of like, wow, you got to know
You can
all
call it
these
something
songs.
obscure, and they're just like, "Yep, got it in the bag."
Yeah, yeah. I've never seen them. No, I don't think I've ever seen Hatebreed. No, I did once at Ozfest
Oh,
because
cool.
they were like Ozfest fucking flagship band
I'm sure.
for like years. But anyway, Jamie told a story about how they played DC, and he got so fucking drunk that like first like they played a set that was like 2.5 hours.
That is insane.
Nice.
That's like, you know how many fucking Hatebreed songs that is?
Yeah, because he
Like, they're
kept
all
making the band.
short.
He said he kept making the band play, like they wouldn't stop, and everybody at the venue was getting so mad.
They
Like
all wanna go home.
everybody left. They left the venue, and like the stagehands were leaving. They were so pissed, and Jamie was so drunk. He was like, "I was taking off my shoes and giving them to the crowd." He was like, I took my wallet out and was giving cash. he's like, oh, I was throwing money. I was throwing our stage scrims in there, like
that's
their little
awesome.
stage
What the
posters. He's just throwing it in there.
That must have been just like the greatest show
Yeah.
ever.
If you're one of the
Yeah.
last 5 people there, it's like keep throwing stuff at me. I'm
Yeah,
gonna take
dude,
it.
I just got paid to be at this fucking Hatebreed show. I'd have to give the money back. I'd at least go to the merch guy and be like, hey, Jamie threw
Yeah, I
this
was
at
like,
me.
clear this dude.
I'm gonna take the shoes
bad
though,
shit.
for sure.
Yeah,
Taking the shoes.
that's so fucking funny. He was like, yeah, we couldn't play Washington or wherever they were like for a couple years because of that incident.
funny.
Yeah, it's so sick.
That's
I
crazy.
just think it's so funny. He got so drunk that he just kept making the band play. Like they just kept going.
I like that they kept doing it. They're like, fuck it.
Yeah. And
Jamie's
they were-
happy.
He was like
Let's
trying
keep
to.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were playing. I think he said they were playing like songs multiple times.
Well, they had to.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like-
At a certain point,
I mean, on average, I think their songs are around 2 minutes, you know? And like
which is
mostly
by the way one
shorter
of the
than
more
that.
ideal lengths of songs.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, man.
I like over 10 minutes,
under.
under 2.5.
Yeah.
Like that's a good length of song. Like the 4.5, it's like, what are you doing? You're either not going far enough, or
Right.
you're going
Go
way
big
too
or
far.
cut it in
Yeah,
half.
most of the time recently, I feel like those songs are just going way too far.
Yeah,
That's usually how
that's
I
the
feel
thing. If
about
you can
them.
get an idea done in 2 minutes, fucking do it.
Yeah,
If it's gonna take you 12 minutes, let it take 12 minutes.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know? Don't
definitely.
do the 5 minute. It's like you could have done something though.
Yeah,
It's like why go middle of the ground?
yeah, it's definitely a challenge.
That's like long for pop music. You know, like
yeah,
5
definitely.
minutes is like
That's
that's
very
long
for
if
pop.
it's a pop song.
Yeah,
but it's
definitely.
not long if it's like
A metal song.
yeah, a metal song could
Yeah.
be easily much longer than that.
Oh yeah,
Easily.
yeah. I think like 6 minutes is our shortest song on the Warforged record or something.
And that's a good length.
Yeah.
I actually
Mhm.
think 6 to 8 is good too.
Yeah,
6 to 8, 8 to 10 is
So
that's a little
like
specific,
odd-
but
yeah.
that's odd. It's like
Yeah.
it's,
What's the longest song?
on our record, like 12 to 15 minutes somewhere
Perfect.
in
What
that
song is that?
category.
Perfect.
Is Old Friend, the second to last one, where
Cool.
Craig plays like the stand-up bass and
Yeah.
shit.
That's
Yeah.
so you
awesome.
get to like build and build. That's what
Oh,
I
yeah.
like about the longer songs. Is like kind of like slowly build. It's like
Yeah, you
I
take your
know
time
how
with it.
long the song is, so let's see where it goes.
Yeah,
And it always goes somewhere fascinating. By the end, it's like, okay, we made you wait this long. It's like, let's see where it goes.
Right.
And it's like, you didn't see that coming.
yeah.
What's the short song on the album?
I think it's the self-titled track. It's Voice, the title
Okay.
track. I think that's the shortest song. Either that, I could be wrong about my own record.
Yeah, whatever.
But I wonder if anybody's like thinking like, no, that's not
I was
it.
like, you fucking moron.
Yeah,
it's
you've got a
this
super
one.
fan that's just
Yeah.
like, you don't even fucking know.
Yeah.
How do you not know your own song?
I don't know. I
Let me
think it's.
tell you.
I'm pretty sure it's Voice. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that's it because it's like that is the shortest song to play.
All right, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like the breather for me, kind of.
Oh, is it really the short one?
Yeah, because it's just like all
Pretty
like the whole.
straightforward.
Well, yeah, but then I do the whole weird solo thing, and that's hard. But all the shit before it is all just groove stuff. Like I get like I have to think, but I don't have to like get my hands all fucking worked up and riled up and all shaky.
And now you have to worry about that for who knows how long.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah. Actually, on the way here, my buddy hit me up to play drums on some song he's working on.
Cool.
So I think I'm going to do that.
Hey, man. Something.
Yeah. Should be cool. Yeah,
What
exactly.
kind of
That's what
project?
I'm thinking. He sent it to me. It honestly just sounds like like a indie rock type song, I guess you could say.
All right.
But he said he wants me to do some like groovy stuff behind it, and I was like, okay, that could be
Gonna
cool.
blast all the way through.
Yeah.
No way. It would sound so weird. But he just sent me like a
do
guitar
one
and bass
version like
demo.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I figured it out, man. What the hell is this?
Oh man. Damn. Well, shit, Bill. What do you got for me, dude?
I got nothing.
What do you got here?
Nothing.
What did you do with your night last night?
Went out to dinner actually. With some
Went
friends.
to a restaurant?
Yeah.
You fucking
Yeah, how was that? That's
motherfucking
weird.
It was like the first time,
I've
or
been.
technically it was the second time I went like the night before, but it was the first time since COVID I've gone out somewhere that isn't my practice space or my shop or this place.
Where did you go?
Fat Talk in Forest Park.
Oh, okay.
Duck
Oh,
Fat.
that place is awesome.
Duck Fat.
Duck Fat, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, just nice to do something normal.
Was it
You know.
outdoor or did they?
Yeah, they got a massive patio out there, which is
Yeah.
cool. But
That
you
is
do have to
cool,
like
yeah.
walk inside for like a second, so you have
To
to
get
mask
there.
up and then
Mhm.
yeah.
Mask up.
But yeah, because Alex is in town.
Oh.
It's helping her out because her dad passed away back
Yeah.
in February, so we're moving stuff out of his place. He had her dad was like a huge car guy. Like he was a
Mhm.
mechanic. So she inherited like I think like about a dozen cars.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's trying to get rid of those, figure out what to do with that. And then so I came over to his place to help her get some stuff together and then move it out to what I didn't know was he had a massive Matchbox car collection.
Wow.
Oh.
And
That's cool.
she was like, "Oh, it's like," she's like, her sister was like, "I think there's like 2,000 cars." She's like, "Well,
That's
it looks
crazy.
like more like 3, from what I saw in pictures." And invites this guy over who apparently is the Matchbox president or something of like this community that's out there. Did a count, and I think she said it was like 20,000 cars.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's
And so this
insane.
dude's gonna sell them all for her, like over the course of however long, because she's leaving tomorrow. But yeah, she just boxed it all up, gave it to this dude, and that dude's gonna take care of it. But they're all in like pristine condition,
That's
still
crazy.
in the box. Like,
That's sick.
Yeah.
yeah, she was like, yeah, because like I'd come over
Some of
here
those
and my
gotta
dad
be
be like,
collector's
oh, I'm
items.
sure, yeah,
Oh my
and
God.
like. She was like saying like her dad be like, don't fucking touch those boxes. You can't play with those goddamn toys. And I guess there was one particular toy that her aunt, which was her father's sister, it was like, oh, I want like this like one toy.
Sure.
Because like I remember when we were kids, I used to play with it. And when she told that dude, he was like, yeah, that car is worth like $100 something. Like he's like, maybe there's another one she could want.
Wow.
But I think they ended up giving it to her anyway because it was like, dude, he had so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's not gonna hurt,
No,
But yeah, it was
I'm sure that all
crazy.
added up to some insane number.
I'm sure, like when but that was like a source of contention because she was like, I can't believe we blew all this fucking money on all these goddamn toys.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how my girlfriend feels sometimes
Right?
with my record collection. It's just like, how many do you have? Over 2,000?
It's like,
You're a
you
fucking
need that.
maniac. It's like, well, I stole some of them from my dad, so like we can't
There
count
you go.
those. I stole
It
them.
makes up for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
she,
did spend a shit ton of money though.
Yeah.
she was just
Yeah,
like,
man.
yeah, I can't believe my dad would, spend this kind of money on that and for this. And I was like, Alex, I don't know. I can't really fault the guy too much because I got about 10 grand worth of
Yeah.
guitars on my wall at home. So, and I'm complaining about buying a car right now. So I kind of feel for the guy.
It's like I could sell them, but
Right.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Dude, the thing
Last
with like
resort.
something like records too is those gain value. You
Yeah.
know?
Mhm.
Some
Oh, I wouldn't.
records are
I'm
really
not
rare.
selling them. Like I
Yeah.
don't.
That's
I would
like
never
last
either.
resort.
I've got
Yeah.
like Mars Volta records and stuff that
Oh,
are worth
nice.
several, like $400 or $500.
Damn. That's wild.
That's
Like
awesome.
They only printed like 100 and something. Like they're from like the very early.
Okay, they're like first
when like
album EP.
vinyl first started coming. It's like let's test out. Like we'll print like a couple hundred.
Oh, cool. Hell
and
yeah.
I stole those. Actually, Brennan had those, and he was purging all of his records. I'm like, I'll take those.
No shit. He just was getting rid of them.
Well, I gave him a shit ton of money. But
Right,
I
yeah,
took
yeah.
most of his records.
Why'd he get rid of them? He's just like,
Because his movie collection is insane.
oh.
And he had to sell one or
okay.
the other. So.
Fair enough. I get that. That's fair.
And I'm glad he kept the movies because his movie collection is crazy.
Really?
Really?
Walls and walls
That's
of
awesome.
DVDs, VHS.
That's dope.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. His apartment is like a horror like museum.
Oh,
That's so cool.
That's cool.
Hell yeah. Yeah, if I didn't play music, I'd probably have like an insane movie
Right.
collection.
You would replace it with something
yeah,
else.
oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I almost
funny.
like it's easy to go down that like Blu-ray rabbit hole sometimes.
Yeah.
I've
Do you remember
I've
the
learned to
movies you
control
like?
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I want
Like
that.
I now have like just a very small collection of movies, and I'm like, that's it. I don't want because like when I was younger, I had like an insane DVD collection.
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
when
love
you have
movies and
nothing
stuff
else
like
to
that.
spend money on, too,
Yeah,
it's like,
you know.
let's buy all the movies I love.
Yeah. Oh man.
So,
But it was funny the other day. I did look up to see if there was a Blu-ray for the movie Airheads because I was talking about
Yeah.
this Gobo.
oh shit, yeah.
And I love that movie,
There's
but
not?
no, they printed one like a long time ago. So now if you want to buy it, it's like $400 on eBay. I'm
Oh,
like, yeah, I'm
Jesus
not
Christ, no.
paying $400 for this fucking
It's not
Blu-ray.
streaming
Blu-ray
anywhere,
fucking
or-
Airheads.
I don't know if
You
it
could probably
is. I'm
rent
sure
it
it's,
on
like,
Amazon
streaming
for a couple
somewhere.
bucks.
Yeah, but I want to own like a
Sure.
physical copy of it.
You don't want to
'cause
watch
I
it
love that.
once and be like 48 hours from now it's going to be gone.
Gone
I
forever
gotta
again
rent it
until you
again.
rent it. Yeah. Because I've watched that movie countless times. So like,
Sure.
why not? You know,
I've seen it a few times. Airheads. It's good.
Yeah.
it's so good.
It's a good movie.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Encino Man too.
That's
a good one.
great
Gobo
movie.
had some sick Encino Man status the other day.
Did he?
Yeah, I forget.
Really?
It was some
really?
pun though, and he added Encino Man to it, and I'm like, whoa.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I
He's been
vaguely know
killing
what
it
you're talking
recently,
about.
man.
Yeah, he's on a roll, man. He's doing
Yeah.
good. I think because he's just so bored from quarantine.
Yeah,
He
dude.
just
And
has
him
to
and
do
Gabe
this.
like interacting on Facebook sometimes is
Are they-
so
are they-
sick. Yeah, like he posted this like it was a chart and it was like all like name the how many bands, how many of these bands have you seen
I've been
live?
seeing those pop
And there
up
was a lot of
everywhere
like
now.
Smashing Pumpkins, Rob Zombie type stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And Gobo was like 34, and then like
Oh, I saw it, Gabe
bunch of
wrote.
people were commenting like numbers, and Gabe just wrote pass.
Pass.
Like it was so sick. Yeah, it was really funny,
That's awesome.
but it was sick. It was sick that Eddie saw all those bands.
yeah, I mean, he's the real deal. It's pretty
I know.
funny. you
Yeah,
know,
it's
like,
definitely wild.
it's like it's crazy like how that dude has gone to so many shows and just never it doesn't ever slow him down.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
he's not burnt out. Like it's crazy. And
I'm
it's,
always
like,
impressed by
local or,
that.
like
It's
national.
like- Most of the bands I've seen were at festivals, like where you get to see.
Okay.
It's like,
No,
I get
cool.
to
Big
see
bang for your
fucking
buck,
like
yeah.
40 bands in a weekend, but it's like, I respect the people that go out like night.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. That would
I
be
mean, it's
fucking
almost it's like
fantastic.
it's a job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
to like keep doing
Because sometimes it sucks.
that. Yeah.
So you
Oh,
have to
yeah.
like pay money to see something that isn't great. It's
Yeah,
like,
it can be a gamble.
you gotta have
you know?
you have to have the give and take. It's like sometimes it's awesome, and then other times it's like, that is kind of money.
always like it's always a crapshoot when like I know like a lot of times like when our friends bands all get together and do a show, I'm like, all right, it's gonna be awesome. It's like
Yeah.
get to see all the guys, and maybe there'll be one band that was like, oh, I never heard of, and maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. But then it's like scary when it's like your one friend's band and then a bunch that you don't know, and I'm like, ooh, we're rolling the dice on this one.
Yeah.
I
You
like
know?
those ones that are so like they're like so poorly put together, and it's like such an eclectic group of bands where it's like
Yeah,
I think
hell
we
yeah.
saw you know Jeff and Justin
Yeah,
when
when
Wealthy
Wealthy
fell.
fell, yeah.
There was a show where they played with a mariachi band that
Fuck
yeah.
played Feliz Navidad like for way too long. And this was like right before when Wealthy Fell came on. Me and my girlfriend were like, "What?"
Like, what is
Is
going
this
on?
show-
right now?
Was it around Christmas time?
It was.
Or was it a Christmas
no,
in
it was
July
like
show?
late summer. It was late summer.
What the fuck?
It was not around Christmas.
Was
time.
it like a battle of the bands?
Yes, it was a
How
battle
do
of the
you really
bands
doing
at
that,
some
man?
dive bar. It wasn't a dive bar. I don't know. It felt very divey.
It could be anywhere.
Was that Arton's band when Wealthy fell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And they didn't even know. Like when they got there, they were just like,
Oh,
what
really?
is this fucking show? And like we came out, I mean, it was when they went on, like we had a great time, but it's like all the bands were like, who put this together? Like none of this makes any sense.
It must have been like if you sign up, you're just on the show.
You're just on the show.
Fuck it. It must have been like no descriptor. They're like looking for bands. Like,
you play music? Play here.
Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
So like,
I'm here now.
how was it judged? Was it like the usual, like, oh, how many people showed up for you? Or were there actual judges?
I don't remember. I got blackout drunk at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I remember seeing When Wealthy Fell and Feliz Navidad for like 20 minutes. And that was all I remember about that show.
Well, that's sick, dude. At least you have that. You could say that you've
That's an
seen
amazing story. Yeah.
I've never seen Feliz
Holy
Navidad
shit.
for 20
It
minutes.
probably was 5 minutes, but still.
It felt
No,
like 20
yeah,
It
minutes.
felt like
Yeah.
20 minutes for sure.
I mean, if it's not around Christmas time, that's definitely a curveball move.
Even-
That's
man.
a sick. It's kind of a sick song, though.
It's
It almost
my-
sounds like the Eagles
Here's
wrote
the
a
problem:
Christmas song.
is that that's my favorite Christmas song. It's
Really?
just they ruined it by playing before When Wealthy Fell.
Yeah.
It
What
was
if they
so
played it
bad.
after? Do you think it would have been
It would have been better.
Hit
It
better,
would have been
yeah.
much
because you
better.
were more drunk, or
Pumped
because
up
you were
and
like,
just
Yeah,
saw
no,
your
because that
friends
would have been
play.
worked out from seeing my friend's band.
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone.
You get
yeah, for
goddamn
20
right.
minutes.
Yeah, play it longer. Do it again.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
yeah. I would love to see like a Grateful Dead jam on Feliz Navidad or
Yes.
like
25 minutes of
or even,
noodling.
even like Jingle Bell Rock, like John Mayer doing
Oh my
some
God.
really like
Or what's the Brian Setzer one?
Brian Seltzer?
Yeah, Brian Setzer.
yeah,
that does
the swang music.
Yeah. Which one is
Jingle
he
Bell
doing?
Rock?
Is it
no.
Jingle-
Didn't I
No.
just say that? I'm
No.
high. Fuck.
Rocking around the Christmas tree, maybe.
Fuck, I
Something
can't.
like
Rocking
that.
around the Christmas. Who?
That seems like a swing song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, that'd be a funny one to hear just like continuously.
Yeah, just
God
over and over.
damn it.
Yeah. Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
That's a classic.
Yes. Play that on a loop,
I'll
too.
listen to
That's
that
the thing.
for 20 minutes. Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
Dude, what was there's the Christmas song with Blink-182 where they just talk about their grandparents shitting their pants and shit like that.
Oh,
I
don't
remember that.
Not familiar with
Yeah,
that, but
you guys
I'm
are too
very
old
excited.
for that. yeah.
I may have missed that one, but that's exciting.
Yeah, that one's
That's
sick.
good.
That's on
Nate
Take Off
about
Your
that
Pants
one.
and Jacket. Nate will know
No, see,
exactly.
I know about that because I didn't know that was a play on words until I was much older.
Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. Me
Yeah,
either, dude.
I bought that record when I was like 12, and I'm just like, yeah, take off your pants and your
and your
jacket.
jacket.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
That's not what that means.
Yeah, and they there's some song on that's about like it's called like Christmas song or some or holiday
it's
song.
about-
I
or
don't
something.
remember that, but I feel like if I put it on, it'll be like, yep,
A flashback.
Definitely.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, and that was like on a major label.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
That's
it.
just so
That was
They
fun.
were on
Griffin.
top of the world, man.
Yeah,
That was,
that's so crazy to me that like that was big. Like these guys talking about the shit.
it's weird to
and,
think
like,
about what they used to get away with in the 90s.
It was a
Yeah.
free for all back
Like
then.
some of the stuff that I love so much is like, why were the butthole surfers so popular? They were insane. They were insane, and I love it.
That's so
but it's
funny.
like,
Dude.
why did Mr. Bungle put out My Ass Is on Fire and everyone
Right.
fucking loved it?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's
Dude,
amazing.
the-
I love that shit, but
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Dude, the Butthole Surfers, man, the first time I heard them was when I got the Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack because I really like the Limp Bizkit song,
What
Take
the
a Look Around, that was on
They're
there.
on that soundtrack.
Yeah, they are. Butthole Surfers is.
Again-
Metallica is.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about soundtracks too. Soundtracks in the 90s were
Oh, they're
Yeah,
the best.
dude.
soundtrack to David Lynch's Lost Highway.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah, that
Yeah.
record
Dude,
is
good
insane. Nine
fucking
Inch Nails,
movie.
The Nine Inch Nails song is like one of my
Rammstein,
favorites.
you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Perfect
forgot Rammstein is
They
on
had
that
like 3
soundtrack.
songs on that track or on that CD. It's insane.
Me and
That's
my
so good.
girlfriend have been watching Twin Peaks, and it's
Yes.
her first time seeing. It's like my favorite
She's
show,
never seen it
dude.
before?
Yeah, she has never seen it. So we're on.
It's such a mind fuck.
Yeah, I know. We're on the return series now, like the last part of it.
Cool.
So like
yeah.
making our way through that, and I think that's like the weirdest of it all.
Yeah.
Like
You didn't think it could get weirder, and then it does. It finds a way.
oh yeah,
Finds a way.
it's so sick.
Because David Lynch is such a crazy person.
Yeah,
Like,
he's insane.
You ever tried to watch Inland Empire?
Yeah,
4.5 hours
it's
long.
nuts, dude.
It's hard to watch.
Yeah.
Like
What
there
is
are.
that?
It's a movie with Laura Dern. It's one. I
It's so
believe
hard
it's
to
his
watch.
last feature film that he did. It was
Yeah.
like from
Really?
2006, 5. Yeah,
I
5 or
believe it was
6.
2005. and it's 4.5 hours long.
Yeah.
And it's abstract. Like, it's bizarre. And
Bizarre
like,
for him?
More than more than Mulholland Drive.
Okay.
Like, crazier than that. And it's just so long, and it's like at like 2.5 hours, I was just like, I'm never gonna figure this out. So I turned it off. Like, there's no way.
Like,
I'm too dumb to understand this movie, or it's too crazy for anyone to understand.
Right.
I finished it once, but it was definitely
Was it
like
worth
pretty
it?
tasking.
Not worth the 4.5.
I think it was worth it. I couldn't watch it in one sitting. I had to watch it in like
No,
in 2 or
impossible.
3. Yeah.
Impossible. I can't watch The Irishman in one sitting. I'm not going to watch Inland Empire in one fucking sitting.
Because I wonder what that experience it must have been like being in a movie theater, seeing that.
People like clawing their eyes out, just like, make it stop.
Dude, and just having to piss. Imagine how many times you might have to pee during 4.5 hours.
And then you didn't, and then you kind of didn't miss anything. And it's like, why am I even here?
Yeah, dude. Ridiculous shit, man.
I do. And by the way, I love David Lynch. I'm not talking shit about David Lynch. That movie was insane. Like
it's intense, huh? What's it about, if you can describe it?
There was claymation bunny people, or like they were wearing bunny suits at one point. That was a big part of it. They were in a movie set, but
I don't even know how to describe it, man. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Everything was dragged out like to a point where it's like you almost forgot that you were watching a movie. Like maybe you were just watching people do stuff.
Yeah,
and that tends to happen with the longer movies, where it's like every scene, it's like it should be like a minute shorter, like every scene, or 2
like the great Lord of the Rings ending that I love.
Well, they had to do
like
that
7
ending.
times.
Yeah.
But it was like 7 stories, like culminating, so they had to do it.
Yeah, he wakes up in the bed, and he's just.
They
like,
probably should have done some of that. Like, should have.
They could have been a little more tactful about it for sure, because it was just. It was
I hadn't read the books when I watched the movies. I had never read the books before, so I didn't know that it was just going to keep doing that. Like, I was just like, why is the movie not ending? It's ended like 4 times.
Yeah, you got another hour,
it's
dude.
So funny. Like everyone was like a fake out because it fade out. Yeah, and it fades back in.
With nice music, and it's like you're like credits roll, and then it fades back out. I'm like, what?
Another group of fucking assholes. Like, what are we doing now?
More hobbits. I'm so sick of the fucking hobbits at this point.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Did they do that with the last one?
I didn't watch any of the Hobbit movies.
I
tried to watch the first one, and it's the book was 120 pages long, and the first movie was like 300 pages material.
Yeah,
ridiculous. Shit. And then they made 3 of them.
Yeah,
that's supposed to be the short one. That's supposed to be the one and done movie.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a children's book. I read it when it was in like 1st grade. Children's book.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Did you see them all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I know you like them, but like,
yeah, I liked it. I mean, it was like not the same as Lord of the Rings. The ending was not like insane though, like a 10-part ending. No. There was a few endings, but not like as many. Yeah,
it only faded out like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, as opposed to 18.
I saw the first one in theaters with some friends, and I remember just like leaving it. Like I don't even know what happened. Like it just like it was in there and then gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then never saw the second one in theaters, but then I was like, well, I might as well watch it because I saw the first one. I don't remember it, but I'm gonna try it. Maybe it'll jog my memory.
But it never does.
Dude, I got like halfway through it. I'm like, I'm out. And then the third one came. I was like, yeah, we're done. Like, I don't know. I don't know why. And I love like fantasy and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
sure.
For whatever reason,
they just weren't good movies.
They're so hard to like.
They're just not good movies.
They're not that great. Yeah. I mean
I know a lot of people that like
people
love
had.
them, which I get it.
Yeah, but like Game of Thrones was in its prime when that shit was going down. So it was just like, they kind of took it over at that point, and I was like, that's fair. Because like the Hobbit, it felt more like children's stuff. Like there were songs and shit.
That's what when I originally turned the Hobbit, the first one off, was like it turned into like a Disney movie,
musical.
but it was it was live action. I was just like, and they were like singing and dancing, and I was just like, no,
it's like I'm out.
What I
it's hard to get through it.
I see some orcs get like stabbed in the face. Like
that. There's some fucked up looking orcs, but they were all CGI, which everybody bitched about too.
Right.
Yeah, considering the old ones.
Practical.
Yeah.
Practical is so much better.
I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I remember seeing when they did the new Star Trek. And it's like, I like that more than Star Wars all of a sudden. And I was always a Star Wars guy. Never a Star Trek guy, really. My dad liked the original, which was great. I mean, it was. But like that movie was fantastic because it looked amazing.
They're awesome movies. Yeah,
Like
I've never been a Star Trek fan, but yeah, like
you're just
I
so
do
used to
like 'em.
seeing CGI backgrounds, and it wasn't. It
I know.
was like sets that were built. And I'm like, I want to.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. You know,
because it pulls you in
it feels
more,
like
you know?
you could like they could touch it and be like, oh, they're actually touching something instead of pretending to touch a CGI background.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I
Which
wish
looks
more.
it always
did
looks
practical.
fake. You can't fake or you can't pretend
Right.
that you're touching something that's not there.
Or it's like you can tell like people's like eye line is like off from what they're supposed to be looking at.
They're looking
It's
at a
like,
green ball
fuck,
that you
dude.
can't see.
And that that takes you out of it. Like it's funny. I was just watching a thing about the Mandalorian. They were talking about the little Baby Yoda basically, and I guess
swept the nation.
Yeah, I know, right? And what's his name? Werner Herzog was like telling them when they were filming it, they were like, we might just
we had this plan the whole time.
Or they were like, we might just CGI the child, or we go puppet. And he goes, and he like called him out. He's like, just do the puppet, you pussy. He's like, just do that. He's like, go big or don't
why
do it.
Why do you think
know?
that Yoda looked better in
in the
Empire
original,
Strikes Back
right?
than
And then the
he
new
did in
one's like creepy little
yeah.
CGI'd version of him. It's like,
even the puppet they did in the first one, they briefly did a puppet that looked terrible.
So yeah, somebody
know.
phoned it in on that one, but
Werner Herzog was right on that one.
Yeah, he
was
it
actually
for sure.
awesome in The Mandalorian.
He's great. Yeah,
I like that series.
and that was another one that one of the cool things they did with that, where instead of doing like this crazy CGI background for these worlds, it was actually like projections that they used
right
to give
Which
it that
looked
more
so
depth
much
and
better.
realism to it. Like, dude, why can't everybody just do more stuff like that?
And
like,
the
away
funny
from
thing
the
is that it
CGI.
was probably cheaper than CGI. It was probably a lot cheaper than
I'm
CGI.
sure. Yeah. You know?
Have you ever seen The Dark Crystal before?
Yes.
Did you see the series they did on Netflix?
I haven't seen it
series,
yet,
but I
but
watched it.
I've got it on my list.
You should watch it. It's fucking awesome.
Did you,
a
you
lot
made
of
it through?
Oh yeah, when it came
You
out
liked
like
it?
months ago, I loved it. Yeah,
Oh, okay, nice.
it was awesome.
I've
And,
heard
like,
very good things about it.
There's a cool
cool.
making of that too, and like all those sets were built. Like it's all practical
no,
shit.
It's awesome.
It's
'Cause it
nuts,
was,
dude.
the original was
and
Jim
that's why it
Henson.
looks so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Like,
it
everything
looks
is-
awesome. And
still
it's
holds up,
crazy
too,
detail.
right.
Yeah,
Even though you know it's a puppet, it looks better than if it was just a computer generated
yeah,
thing.
Yeah,
It just does. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. It just looks better.
yeah. Ugh. And dude, when I saw the second Hobbit movie, I think I went with it was like me, Adrian, his girlfriend at the time, and Alex. And Adrian drove. It was really weird. Yeah, it's very like wow. I forgot that happened. And because we went to Village Crossing, in it's in like Skokie, I want to say. It's in like a mall up there by the Disc Replay and the Half Price Books. It's on. It's either Niles or it's Skokie. Yeah,
I think it's Niles.
Yeah. I think it's Niles too. And he was like, he used to go there with his mom when he was a kid to see movies. So we went there.
I think I told the story where like some chick like beat the shit out of some guy at the theater. That's the one. Yeah. Go on.
But Adrian was just, I remember when we got there, Adrian was like fucking around in the parking lot. Like he kept like zooming in and out of spots and like just like fucking with us. And we're like, all right. Like it was sick. It was funny.
Yeah.
But, Alex didn't even like he hates movies like that. So I was like, why are you even coming, dude? He's like, I just want to make fun of it. And I'm like, okay.
Now, did he really just want to go there to make fun of it, or did he genuinely like it?
He like fell asleep and just kept like making like.
Sometimes you go to a movie to genuinely make fun of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Me and Brennan went to North Riverside Theater to see G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra. And we almost got kicked out for laughing so hard.
Really?
Somebody
else was taking it serious?
Everyone else in the theater was taking
Like,
it
all
seriously,
about it.
and me and him were like slapping each other and like grabbing each other, laughing, like pointing.
That's
and they're just
awesome.
like,
hell yeah.
who are these assholes? Just like, who are you assholes who don't think this is hilarious? It's the dumbest
are you
fucking
not laughing
movie.
at this?
Was that the first one?
Yeah, G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra, where it's like,
Dude, that
it's
is
just,
like insane.
And it's hilarious. It really is a genuinely, I mean, it's terrible, but it's a hilarious movie.
I can't believe that got a sequel. Like,
I can't believe it either.
It must have done just well enough that they were like, yeah, we'll do the sequel.
There were enough me and Brennan's out there pointing and laughing and getting like shit
So it's
faced
your
before we
fault.
went out there.
It was so bad that what's his name? Like Channing Tatum was like, "Get me the fuck out of this franchise!"
Yeah,
and
really?
they kill him off in the second one, like immediately.
Wow.
5 minutes
He's like
into the
he's like
movie.
supposed to be the main character.
Really?
He's like,
Within
"Get me
5
the
minutes
fuck
of
out."
the second movie, he's
Yeah.
dead. It's great.
It's
they're
so
terrible
funny.
movies. They're great.
How many are there?
Just the two.
Who's the main character in the second one then?
I don't remember. Nobody remembers.
Yeah, good thing that didn't live on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Marlon Wayans, I think, was still in it. Was he in the second one?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was like him and one other person.
Yeah, from
They
the
actually
first
came
one, and
over
then
from the
like
first
nobody
one.
else. Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt was fucking what's his name?
He was
Cobra Commander.
Commander.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's an amazing get.
And when he
but
becomes
what the
like
fuck?
for most of the movie, he's not Cobra Commander, and then
Mhm.
when he becomes it, he does like the classic '80s Cobra Commander voice.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh,
It's so fucking funny.
we're doing this, huh? Like
He's like
God bless
doesn't
him.
over exaggerated like I'm Cobra Commander. And, like he does that,
You
and
should,
it's so fucking funny.
if you can find it for free, you should probably just get baked and watch that.
Get
It's
baked
just
and
like-
watch that movie, and I swear to God, within 5 minutes you'll be like, "This isn't a comedy." I swear to God, this has to be.
Yeah.
It's insane that that got greenlit, and it's like there's money put into
Oh
that
my
fucking
God.
movie,
Yeah,
which is crazy.
the special effects are actually kind of impressive.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
like the action scenes, like they're cool because
They're
they
cool,
put so
they're
much
very
money
cool.
into them. But like at the end of the day, it's a fucking.
They were
G.I.
aiming
Joe
at like a
movie.
12-year-old, and then like a bunch of 20-something-year-olds got drunk and went, "That's who this is for."
Right.
Did you guys ever see the Rampage movie?
Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, we
I
did,
haven't
right?
seen that. How is it?
Really? It's
Sick.
It's so awesome.
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
sad,
bad,
but
but
it's
it's
like-
so
yeah.
awesome.
I'm very much I was looking forward to it, and I never got around to seeing it.
Yeah.
I love shit like that. Like,
oh, dude, it's good.
like a dumb idea, and it's like, no. Let's see how this turns out.
yeah, wait,
Usually
let him
not
It's like
finish,
Super
yeah.
Mario Bros. Movie.
I love that
Let's see
movie.
how this
Classic.
turns out.
I still like that movie. I
It's
think
still
it's
one of the
good.
best
It holds
worst
up.
films.
Yeah.
I
People
love
say
it.
it's one of the worst movies ever made, and I loved it as a child, and I
Yeah, me
rewatched it,
too.
and it's still good.
It's
Yeah,
still
Dennis
like-
Hopper crushes
It
it.
still
Dennis
holds up.
Hopper
Yeah.
is insane as always.
He's the shit,
amazing.
dude. It's basically the
He's
same
doing
role in
booty
You got
Blue
Velvet.
Mario,
Velvet.
Mario.
Yeah.
You got Luigi
Baby
Mario.
likes to fuck Mario.
Yeah, John Leguizamo.
Yeah, John Leguizamo
Amazing.
plays Franco in the Roman Ring movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, hell yeah. He totally would.
Famously ran over Bob Hoskins in that movie.
And George Lopez will play Danny. That would be funny.
I like that.
It would make no sense.
Let's get,
I mean, it kind of would.
who's the comedian that lied about being Hispanic?
Carlos Mencia?
Carlos
Yeah.
Mencia.
He's not Hispanic?
No, he's German.
It's German.
Really?
Yeah.
You never.
He's also a joke thief.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
that was
seen
a
all
big
that
thing,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah. Where
Joe
like-
Rogan had that whole like
He had that
scream
whole
that
thing-
against him.
But that's the thing is like
Bitch. Yeah.
he would steal from his opening acts, and some of them are
Right.
actually like popular comedians now.
Yeah, they're bigger.
Like he stole from Bobby Lee, and
Yeah.
you know,
Bobby Lee's like cool with him. He talks about him on the podcast
Yeah,
all the
I've
time.
heard that.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's got one with Andrew Santino.
Yeah, that new show, right? I haven't
Bad
seen
Friends,
Do you like
which is
it?
fantastic. Yeah, it's great. I love Andrew Santino, and Bobby Lee
Oh,
is
okay.
hilarious.
it. Have you seen that show he did with Lil Dicky on
Yeah,
FX?
Dave.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Hilarious.
It's awesome.
Great
That
show.
last episode where they do
great.
that, the first 8 or 9 minutes of the
Yeah.
episode is that music video, and then they cut him off.
Yeah, dude. It's wild.
Fucking funny.
Yeah. They're like, we're not putting this out. And he was like,
Yeah.
what? It's sick, though.
We were just getting to the good part.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
Yeah, hell
You
yeah.
saw that last episode?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So sick.
I was-
dude.
I
That
mean,
show's phenomenal,
that
yeah.
show, every episode is like surreal, and like when he actually starts, like sometimes it's like a moment of like genius.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It's like right in the middle of this awkward episode. It's just everything about it is fantastic.
Yeah,
I
it's a
really
great
hope
show.
I just want them to do more of that. I'll keep watching that forever.
Oh hell yeah! I was just bummed because what is it? 8 episodes?
It's only 8 episodes.
Yeah, I'm like,
But you know,
fuck, I
that's
want
kind
more.
of I kind of like that new, like the kind of more British
Right, the little.
shorter seasons. I'm cool with 8 to 10
Mhm.
episodes. I think 24 is fucking insane. That's too
Now
many
it
episodes.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right?
growing up when you were watching it weekly,
Right.
perfect.
And you didn't have streaming services to watch whatever
Exactly.
you wanted.
But
Now it's
ugh,
like
it's a slog. Yeah.
I can only watch 10 episodes because I have 10 episodes of 70 other shows
Right.
to fucking watch.
Yeah.
I like 12. I think 12 is a good number.
12
If
is
it's
a
a
good
good
number,
show,
yeah.
12 is a good number.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know,
Absolutely.
I like that. 8 always feels so.
8's a little
short.
short.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely short, especially if it's a half hour, too.
And especially if it's a
Yeah.
show that you really, really like. It's
Yeah.
such a bummer. But
Yeah.
who knows? I mean,
You
maybe
could have
we'll
thrown
do
a
more
couple
later.
of filler episodes in there to just to hold me over.
Right, I'd still be happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd be still have like good moments.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Have you ever, because British shows, I never really understood that until I started watching more where I'm like, all
Yeah.
there's seasons, but like they're all like short. Like I
Yeah,
watch
super
Very short.
Have you ever
Yeah.
seen Peep Show? It's like a comedy.
I love Peep Show. Yeah,
Peep Show's
Peep
the
Show is
shit,
great.
dude. And that's only like
Uh,
6 or 7 seasons, and the episodes are only like 6 episodes.
Right, so it's only a
The
couple of
seasons are only
seasons
6.
worth of an American show.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's still like
I don't know, dude, the second season of Twin Peaks, that was 22 episodes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
when
It's
you think
wild.
That's
back
a
on it,
dense
it's
show.
like that. They don't do that anymore.
No,
like,
they
unless it's
don't.
Grey's Anatomy, you don't do.
Or Seinfeld, like they used to do that shit. You know, they had like,
Seinfeld would. That's why they had like some filler episodes.
Yeah.
it's like you can only.
You only
They're
say
on
so
the
much
air for
shit.
8 months of the year.
Right.
You gotta
Oh, dude.
fill it up.
Yeah,
do
and
something, yeah.
my mom still like to this day watches Seinfeld reruns like every day.
Yeah, my
She
parents
loves that
do.
show. Yeah, they absolutely love
I
it.
used to like.
They hold up too. Some of them.
Oh, yeah,
some
I
of
agree.
them
Oh,
not
yeah.
as much,
Hell
but
yeah.
I mean, you know,
And I love Curb too. So
Curb holds up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Curb holds up.
Except now, I will say the recent seasons of that show, ever since we had Paul on this show, and he put that thought in my head, it feels like the show's kind of like self-aware now. The past couple, like some of the
Yeah.
gags on the last couple seasons, it's like, and it's been co-written by the dude who wrote For the League. Remember that show?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
been
yeah,
writing
yeah.
a lot of episodes with Larry David on this last season and the season before.
Well, and the
which is
league
really
was very
weird.
self-aware, so that
Yeah,
makes
exactly.
sense they would, yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
like
bringing that
interesting
sense
because
in.
I feel like I love my favorite seasons of Curb Your Enthusiasm are like the first few seasons because it
Yeah.
was
Oh,
so
hell yeah.
realistic.
Yeah.
It was just like you got to see Larry interact with all these other celebrities because he basically is a celebrity,
Right. Yeah.
You know, and like
Yeah.
Ted Danson's being like a nice dick,
And it wasn't
like,
scripted. It was just like,
Yeah.
here's your here's what your version of you is.
Mhm.
Like you're playing yourself, but you're being this version, and we're just gonna improvise.
Yeah.
And then they would come up with gold.
Oh yeah.
Time. Every time.
And then there's a gag on the new season where they say this dog is like a Nazi dog, and like it's just like so fake, and it's like, what are we doing?
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Was
like
was it a white dog? Like
I forget. It was like the owner was German, and like I don't remember the exact setup because I
And
only
a
watched.
black patch right here. So
Yeah.
and then one of the black patches right here.
It was but it was good. I still like that show. It's still
I'm
entertaining
sure.
to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely crazy how it's become like self-aware like that.
Mm.
It's got to be that new writer then.
I'm sure. And I mean it's just kind of like if we're still going to pump him out of Larry David, like
Do what you can, right?
I guess, yeah. Like part of me is kind of surprised that he's going this far with it cuz like they had that gap for years.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
it was like an 8-year gap or something like that in between not this past season but the previous one. And I know it's renewed again for another season.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, which will be sick. I'll still watch it. But
Yeah.
Yeah, why
and
not?
they're coming out with that Sopranos movie.
What?
Yeah, I've seen a lot
Yeah.
of promotion for that.
Yeah.
What is that
Yeah.
all about?
The Many Saints of Newark. It's a prequel. It's about Tony Soprano's father. And
Oh,
Tony
cool.
Soprano's in the movie. He's a kid though, and he's actually played by James Gandolfini's son.
Oh, I think I heard
Yeah,
about that.
which is
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bummer James Gandolfini's not in it because like half the reason I love that show so much is
Oh,
just
yeah.
because of his character and
Yeah.
his acting, and he's so
Yeah.
good. And but Joey Diaz is in it.
No
Oh,
shit.
Yeah,
Of
and a
course
bunch
he
of other
is.
guys are in it too.
And he
so,
should be.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is Maniscalco in it? I know he was in
He might
The
be.
Irishman.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
crazy.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that
He's
was
he's
wild.
hilarious. Maniscalco is
Yeah.
top notch.
Does he do a podcast?
He's been on a bunch. I don't know if he has one himself.
Isn't he from like Addison or some shit like that?
No, Woodridge?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Because he's originally a Chicago guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember he was talking to Andrew Santino.
Wooddale.
Santino was.
He also grew up in Illinois, right?
I think he Downers Grove, like
Yeah.
Chicagoland area.
Something like that. Yeah.
Bob Odenkirk was born in Berwyn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love him, dude.
That dude's
Like he
so
grew up
funny.
in Cicero. I remember seeing. I think it was the first season of Better Call Saul,
Okay.
where they walked past a building that they filmed it in Cicero. It was a building that I passed by a million
Oh,
times, and I was
cool.
just like, "Holy shit! Like
Yeah.
that's fucking Cicero. Like they're not faking Cicero. They filmed it
That's
in
so
Cicero.
funny. Huh.
So cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen what's that show he does with David Cross?
Mr. Show.
Mr.
Yeah,
Show.
show's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mr. Show is amazing. I just got back into. Do you remember The State
No.
on MTV?
I never
Back in the
saw
day.
it, but
Was
that's
that
the
similar?
pre-Reno 911 crew.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
the entire,
Yeah.
basically the entire crew of Reno 911 did The State, and it's the guys from Stella,
Oh,
Wet Hot
okay.
American Summer.
Yeah.
like all those like
that
improv
like
dudes.
like that goofy like kind of like it's like surrealist
Mhm.
comedy, And I just remember watching that as a kid when we first got MTV, like that was still on. And I'd watch that just like not knowing anything. Just like hearing this weird punk music and stuff. They do these weird skits. It's just like, what better for a kid? It's like, I got Nickelodeon. I can watch Rocko's Modern Life and Ren and Stimpy, and then I can put on The State and like,
fuck yeah,
have my mind melted by like ridiculousness at a too young age.
Did you ever watch Kids in the Hall? Have you ever seen
Kids in the
show?
Hall? I was a big fan of too.
Yeah,
my dad
cool
actually
one.
loved Kids in the Hall.
Really?
So, yeah, we would watch that together.
Hell yeah,
That's awesome. Max and
I
Alice really
used to
like that
love
show.
sketch comedy. We would watch fucking In Living Color.
Oh hell yeah.
hell yeah.
That's how I discovered the Wayans and fucking Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah.
Like,
right.
it's insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that was such
wild.
a great show.
Yeah, my dad liked that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like in the early 90s, if you were a dad, you you were into In Living Color. It was on.
Uh-huh.
You were watching it. It
Yeah.
was an adult sketch show. It's like, I'm going to watch that before SNL.
Yeah. My parents still watch SNL.
That's a shame.
You still
I
keep
know.
up with it?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it terrible? I haven't watched it in so many years.
I haven't watched it either. No.
I've watched like skits here and there because like they put them on YouTube all the time.
Yeah,
And if
yeah.
It's somebody
I think
that
that's
I like,
how most people are consuming it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's somebody
It's
I like, I'll watch them too.
And every once in a while, somebody, like a skit does like get huge and people are like, oh, check it out. And it's like, okay, I'll
Yeah.
do that. But
It's like, oh, okay,
I'm not-
yeah, I get the joke.
like I'm not going to watch a whole episode for like
No.
one skit, you know?
Yeah,
I feel like
not
yeah,
anymore.
back in the day, it was like most like I don't even want to say mostly hits. They would have a couple of hits in an episode. Now it's like
Right.
you're lucky to get one.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
definitely.
Weird. Yeah. But that's kind of like the issue with that show is just because it's, ever changing. So
Yeah,
you can have
exactly.
Good times, bad times on that, but whatever. What are you going to do?
Yeah, shit.
It's not what it used to. There's going to be a new SNL at some point.
Yeah.
Something that's
Once it sheds its
same
skin
style,
again,
but yeah, it's not going to be on network television.
Yeah,
It won't,
Right.
because that's going to be dead at some point anyway.
yeah, dude.
That's only a matter of time.
It just keeps getting cheaper and cheaper. It seems like.
Mm.
So it's like 'cause people are just like, "Fuck, we got to sell this." I mean, my parents like still have Xfinity. I think they always will until they're
Yeah,
in the ground.
That's funny.
It's such an old person thing, but it's
Yeah.
sick. I mean, it's just like I love it because I get access to like everything, like
See, that's awesome.
Showtime,
Yeah.
HBO, all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
shit they get on Xfinity. I'm like, fuck, this is the shit. Like, I'm using this, and it's great. I use it all the time.
That's probably why they build it like that, where it's like,
Yeah,
oh, you can stream it and
Yeah.
you can watch it. So it's like, well, fuck it. I'll have my folks get
Exactly.
that. I'll just stream everything else.
yeah. And I mean, you'd probably be paying for it anyway if you wanted to see all
Yeah.
that shit. So
Because
it's just
all
kinda
of my
like-
streaming shit I pay for. So it's like when you add it up,
Yeah.
it's like, shouldn't I just get Xfinity?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
am
It's
I
like
not
at that
paying
point,
more
yeah, you might as well pay for
At this point,
cable,
because I pay
yeah.
for HBO, I pay for Amazon Prime,
Prime Video,
Mhm.
you know,
yeah,
Hulu,
Yep.
Netflix, all
Me
that
too.
shit. I have
Yeah.
all that. I have Disney Plus. I don't know why.
Oh, Disney Plus
Probably
is
because
shit.
I wanted to watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I never canceled it.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's so funny.
I just
And I
been
watch The
watching,
Simpsons sometimes. They have all
oh,
the
hell
Simpsons.
yeah,
on
it's
there.
so wild they have that.
the entire series.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's so many
And
episodes.
it gets bad at some point. But the first
yeah.
like 15, like I would say even like 14 or 15 seasons, pretty solid.
yeah, definitely.
You know,
yeah.
after that it gets Homer just becomes such an oaf. Like
Yeah, you're like
over the
it.
top.
Yeah.
It's like-
Yeah,
he used to not just be the dumbest person on the planet.
Right.
It was like
Yeah.
there was a more nuance to the character. But
Yeah.
still, it's like, oh, I'll watch that.
that's
I
cool.
think-
That's cool to have. I don't have Disney Plus.
No.
You don't need it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I don't.
My girlfriend watches the Disney movies. That's the only reason we keep it is because she still uses it, and I'm just waiting for Mandalorian season 2
Fuck yeah.
for
Yeah,
the most part.
yeah. So many people I know just got it for that show. I'm not really like the biggest Star Wars dude, so
Yeah. Well, that
couldn't-
and they have
That's
all those
good
like
though. Like
Marvel
even
shows
as
coming.
like because I haven't liked the last multiple Star Wars things came out, but the Mandalorian I was just like, no, this is good.
Sweet.
Like, this
It's
didn't
good.
even have to be Star Wars, and it would still be good.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, I just recently watched Endgame again the other day.
Oh yeah,
And then
Endgame is
Winter Soldier this morning.
Winter Soldier is my favorite Marvel
yeah,
movie.
it's
It's so
That one's
fucking
really
good.
good.
so fucking good.
And my second favorite is the first Captain America.
oh,
the Captain
first
America
one,
movies
yeah.
are great.
Dude, I was thinking about it. I was like, you could really, if you wanted to, you can pick like each character and watch just their movies and then like the Avengers. And like you can have this adventure where it's like, just that character.
Yeah.
Like how that works out. I was like, that's so cool. Especially with Captain America. Like you can watch just those.
Are all those movies on Disney Plus now?
Yes.
Is it all of them or are they missing a couple still?
I don't
know. Like
because I think they took some
a couple and then they brought back and this and that.
Yeah, Avengers used to always be on Netflix.
I don't think any of that's on Netflix.
Like Age of Ultron.
Maybe
I know it's not there anymore, but
maybe like Ant-Man versus the Wasp might be the only one that's
left on there
still
or
on
something.
There.
Yeah.
And I do like the Ant-Man movies too.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun. Yeah.
Like
the first one is a
baby.
heist movie, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's funny pretending it's like Michael Douglas from Falling Down, like post Falling Down.
He got his shit together and was like, I'm gonna become a scientist.
Yeah, or like
no
him after like another version. Have you guys ever see The Game? Like the thriller movie that he did? Like if that was the real ending to The Game, he just became this crazy scientist. That's sick, dude.
The next time I watch it, that's all I'm going to be thinking.
Yeah, dude, that guy's fucking wild. Isn't he still married to Catherine Zeta-Jones?
Yeah.
Didn't he say some insane shit? Like
he got
like
throat cancer from eating her pussy.
That's what he said. Yeah. Why?
I hope that's true. I really, really
hope
that's true. How could that be true?
That's a sword I would fall on gladly.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that that's impossible. I hope that it's true.
Yeah, I don't know what.
So weird.
Made him say that.
Because he's insane. Because he's old now.
I guess.
And like he's fucking. I saw like a recent picture of him. Like, oh fuck, Michael Douglas is like not young. Because he was like kind of old and falling. Not like old, but like older.
Like he wasn't young in those movies.
And that was what 80 something.
Yeah.
So
like we were watching. So we were watching Twin Peaks, and like Benjamin Horne in the original series, he's an older dude, like probably in his 40s already. And then in the return season, he's like a senior citizen. And my girlfriend was just like, whoa, like he looks fucking old. And I'm like,
who is it?
Benjamin Horne. He runs the Great Northern Hotel and he owns a lot of businesses in Twin Peaks. Audrey Horne's daughter. You should watch the show, man.
I tried once and it was like too intense. I got to do it again, but I got to like
smoke weed.
Be ready for it. Yeah. I got to smoke weed.
Yeah.
What's it on? Is it on Netflix?
It's on, the original series is on Netflix. Mm-hmm. The movie, I don't think it's on any streaming service for free. I have the Blu-ray if you want to borrow it.
The Fire Walk
with me. Yeah. And then the return series is on Showtime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think it's probably because they just let David Lynch do whatever the fuck he wanted at that point, which is great.
It's great because that's what he's always done anyways. So
yeah.
It's good to just let him, even when he fails, it's like, it's good to just let him do.
Yeah. Have you ever read any of his books?
No, I haven't.
I've read his autobiography. Well, it's like so like one chapter is like a narrator narrating his life.
I was gonna say, I'm sure it's not as straight.
And then the following chapter is him writing, but it's his recollection on that period of his life, which is really cool.
Weird approach.
So it's like you get like the factual approach, and then you get him talking about it more, which is it's a really sick book. And then he has this book called Catching the Big Fish because he's big into transcendental meditation and shit like that, which I don't know much about, but like he talks about it a shit ton in that book. But it's basically like a look into his creative process and like ideas to get you jump started. It's really cool. Yeah, it's an awesome book. Very weird.
I'll check that out. I do love David Lynch, and I blame him for a lot of.
Oh yeah,
a lot of my oddness.
Hell yeah,
I blame
man.
him for, which is great. I say blame in a loving way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, my whole band Warforged. Most of us are big Twig. Me and Adrian are big Twin Peaks guys. I'll just say that. Alex kind of likes it, I think. But
what about Jace? I feel like
I don't know if he's ever seen it. Honestly, he should though.
He seems like he'd be into it.
Yeah, I wonder if he has. Man, Jace is the shit sometimes, man. Because I'll tell Jace to check something out and then I'll like do it. Yeah. Like there was a video game I played called Night in the Woods. It's like a story-driven dialogue like game that I played on the Switch, but it's on like Steam and shit like that. And I was like, you should play this. And he was like, oh yeah, it looks like stupid. And then he didn't really say that. He just like kind of was like, oh, maybe. And then he played it the other night or like recently and he was like, yeah, that game was good. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's cool. It's nice. I tell you to check out everything.
Yeah, and I never do.
No.
Yeah. No, that is a nice thing because I do the same thing. It's like people will tell me to check something out and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll definitely check that. And I forget.
Yeah,
I forget immediately.
They send it to me and I'm just like, I'll listen to it later. Then I never do.
But I also feel like a hero sometimes when I actually do.
Me too.
Go back and I'm just like, I make a reference to it and they're just like, oh, you actually watched it. I'm like,
checked it out.
Yeah, I did the basic minimum job.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if somebody like,
I do not.
If somebody likes any type of like art form and they like it enough to tell me to listen to it, I think I should.
I know. Yeah,
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this person cares a lot and they care enough to like show my dumb ass. So, you know, yeah, I'll check it out. Why not? But I'm picky. I'm picky as fuck. Like I've always been so fucking picky, especially with music and stuff. Like that always gets me in a.
I don't know. I feel like you're way more open with music.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open with what I like, but I also feel like.
I mean,
I'm also narrow.
Take suggestions probably better than most, I would assume. Right?
I try. Yeah, usually.
Some people are completely non-receptive.
Yeah.
So as long as you like, as long as you're willing to be like, okay, this is out of my wheelhouse, like that's.
Yeah.
Me, I have a very narrow time in which you can like get me with that stuff, and then even then, it's usually not.
I tried that with you, like when you're just like, I don't care what genre, just suggest a band, and I'm just like, I'm gonna try to get him this time. I'm gonna tell him about something weird, and he's gonna be like, yeah, maybe it was a couple hours too late, and I wasn't into it.
Yeah,
I did really enjoy the Acacia Strain.
I know, that's awesome, dude.
Like,
that made me feel so good to see you post that. It was
it finally happened with one of these episodes.
Yeah, dude, my pre-order, one of them got in today. I haven't been home today, but I'm about to go and fucking check it out.
More like vinyl, or
Nice. I pre-ordered the second pressing too of the first record because the whole first pressings, like all of them sold out, which is nuts. Like that's great.
Do you
for
have
them.
every release on vinyl, a First Slow Decay, or
like the DECAY? Yeah, multiple copies of them.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I have those, and then I pre-ordered additional copies of because the thing was like the way they set up the pre-orders were they had all this sick merch, but if you wanted any of it, you had to either get it with a vinyl or a CD. And I was like, all right, I'll get a couple of the because like they had this cool hoodie I liked and a long sleeve. And I was like, damn, I love all this art that they're doing for this like record. It's really sick. And I was like, I never had a lot of their merch because like they always used to do all this dumb joke ass shit. And I was always just like, ugh, like, yeah, that's enough for me. Like, I like it for some bands, you know, but for them, it was just like, and at the time, like, I would listen to it and I'd be like, because like you listen to a band like that after coming off of like Vital Remains and Deicide, and I'm like, people are probably gonna frown upon me rocking like a shirt with Big Burn on it in a Santa hat that says the Acacia. You know what I mean? It's just like, what does it even mean? It's just like, I don't know. Like, but now they have all this sick merch and they look scary again, and like they're making all this weird hard ass music, and it's just like, I mean, for them, granted, you know.
How did that album do? That, like,
I don't know. The numbers haven't come out yet. I think they'll come out early this week, but I think it did pretty well.
It had to have.
Yeah.
Just because of the way they set up all that.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. I don't know if like those DECAY will count towards this.
That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah.
If, like,
I don't think it does. I think it's separate.
I don't think it does either. But if it did, it would. They probably like chart.
Yeah.
You know
what the Acacia Strain did was they released a series of 7-inches called Decay, and each one was a letter.
Okay.
And like each 7-inch had 2 songs, so it was essentially like they were putting out their new record 2 songs a month. It was really
amazing.
fucking sick.
Yeah, it was a really interesting approach.
That's exactly what fans of like a little bit out there music, like that's what we want.
Yeah,
like,
just cool, and it's such a cool way to like.
We don't want a
band.
mixtape. We don't want to just like give us a physical copy that is like get it through the website.
Yeah,
whatever. That's what I want.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
That's more than.
That's why I bought all the shit, because it was so cool, and I'm like, fuck, I want to support a band that is finally doing something that's just like
different.
And they're probably making like next to nothing on it because they're putting so much money into it. But it's like still, it's like.
Yeah, but the name is out there, you know.
Yeah, and then you get to be like, look
at
what we did together. It's like, maybe they put another pressing out, and it's like, we did that. You know, they were able to do that because so many people threw money at it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, and it's just cool to see that, like, because a band who's good, and especially they've been around for so long now that it's like, it's cool to see that they still give a shit about their music on that level, because not a lot of bands do anymore. I mean, we talked about this on the last episode, but yeah, it's just still like fresh in my fucking head. Because I mean, we kind of face it to a certain degree, especially in metal. Releases come out so fucking often that albums can get forgotten about. Like you listen to them a couple times, and I'm like, man, all right, I got it all in a couple times. Now on to the next record that's coming out this month.
I feel the same way about like some of the stuff I like. Like I'm I love garage rock. Like I'm into psychedelic rock and garage rock.
Oh, sweet.
And these motherfuckers are releasing albums and EPs multiple times a year.
Yeah,
It's
which is
like,
nuts.
if I get lost in work for a couple of months or something,
Yeah.
it's like I missed 2 releases.
Yeah, and they're just like,
They're
oh
just
fuck.
constantly putting shit
Yeah.
out. And it's like, and that's cool. And I
It's
love
awesome.
it. That's much better than waiting 5 or 6 years for a fucking record to come
Right.
out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, dial it back for a second so I can catch up, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
At a certain point,
They're
it's just
passing
like,
you up. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, I can't even buy these records for less than $100 anymore.
Yeah.
Keep
'Cause
putting them
it's
out.
yeah. That's so wild.
Jack, our roommate from the practice space, posted something about Spotify. I didn't get a chance to read it.
Yeah.
but
Did
the
you see
gist of
Jeff
what
Bezos? Or not
Oh, I
him,
saw
but
that.
No.
Yeah.
What was the gist of it? It was
so
like,
basically, the CEO of Spotify did some like, I don't know, presentation or something. I don't really know what it was, but essentially he was saying that because he was arguing putting up for Spotify, you know, not really paying bands that much from streams. And I mean, he was basically just saying, he was like, yeah, like, you know, unfortunately with the way this all works now, you can't be like artists, like you can't, he said you can't expect to, you know, make a living off of putting out a record every 3 to 4 years now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And a lot of people were like, that's such a slap in the face, blah, 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 blah. Like, people work so hard. It should be like this. And I'm like, yeah, it should be like that. A lot of good things should exist, you know?
Mhm.
But
Right.
unfortunately, with like the years we're living in, the oversaturation of every style of music, it's just like, it's kind of the fucked up truth,
Yeah.
you know? And I use Spotify like a motherfucker. I use
Yeah,
Spotify.
I do too.
You know, and it's easy and it's convenient. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just like, and I can't deny it. And I kind of like the fact that like everything I love, I could just use. I mean, it's at my fingertips.
Right, it's
you
right
know,
there.
it's so great. And I mean, I've never really been an anti-streamer, so, and I'm not like anti-Spotify and anti. Because
Right.
it's just like the. I mean, honestly, the types
That's
of
a
music
tough-
that
that's a
we
tough
all
thing to
like.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
They're
we're
putting out records anyway. It's not like we're on SoundCloud and we're listening track to track.
yeah,
Right.
I listen to records. Like
yeah,
I don't want to listen to a song by an artist. If I
Sure.
like one song by an artist but none of the others, I don't like them.
no, you
I
like
like
that song,
that song.
yeah.
That I want to put on a record that like it's like I can listen to at least the first like 5 or 6 tracks before I, you know.
Yeah, and you're getting a cohesive.
But you
feed of
could
it.
listen to the whole thing.
Sure.
Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to create more like kind of SoundCloud artists.
Oh,
type things
absolutely.
where-
And I mean, that's the format that's huge right now.
yeah.
Right.
That's why you see rappers putting
Banging
out
them
like
banging them out.
an album and then
But that's
2
why they all
mixtapes
sound
in a
the
year.
same, like sometimes.
Yeah,
Some-
oh, yeah.
All the SoundCloud rappers sound the same, and it's
Yeah,
like
I like some
I'm
of
not,
them too.
and some of them are good,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like when you hear that same tired beat over and over again, it's just like you're not even trying. You're just trying to put stuff out. Like
Just
you're paying
making
somebody to make
material.
the exact same beat as the last
Yeah.
guy, and then you're rapping over it. It's like you gotta be different in some way. It's like the best rap music that I've ever heard, completely different than anything you've ever heard.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
and there has to be some kind of unique aspect to
Oh,
it.
yeah.
If you're just like stealing beats or like copying like the same sound as something and then just trying to do your own thing over it to get views.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's what it's
you're
turning
not going to be
into.
remembered. Like none of these people are going to be remembered.
No, but they're gonna make a fucking living though. Like
For
some of
now,
these guys,
yeah.
yeah.
But who knows how long that's going to last?
True.
Or people move on to
Right.
something
Until
else.
somebody else comes back
Yeah.
with that
Yeah.
same formula and just takes over.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, these
And I
guys are
think they have to
dying of
realize
drug
that.
overdoses and shit. So there's
Yeah.
that too,
Okay, so they
which
got a little
sucks.
shelf life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's nuts. It's crazy. And
What
like,
is with that? What the
they're just
fuck?
doing fucking drugs and shit. Like Juice
Mhm.
World, that
Uh-huh.
SoundCloud rapper he's fucking his
He
record.
did so many edibles that he died.
He
Like,
did a
that's
bunch of like codeine and
insane.
shit. Essentially, he was on
But
like a
did he
private
die on
jet.
plane? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that he
He's
did
from
codeine
Chicago.
too, but that makes
Yeah,
sense.
he had a bunch of fucking drugs on him. Essentially, he took them all. So he like the cops didn't find them, and then he like I think he had like a stroke from
He was
it or
on a
something.
jet
or-
yeah. or something, so it's like they couldn't
Yeah.
even.
What the fuck?
it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he put out. He just
He was
put
a
out.
young guy too, like
Yeah, he was 21.
21.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He just put out like they just released his first like posthumous album
Mhm.
of like stuff he was working on, and it went like number one.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was fucking huge.
Hmm.
I think it was like his highest selling record to date or
Yeah.
some shit like that.
And it would have been either way. Like he was on his
yeah,
way
he was
up.
on the up and up. I
You know.
listen to every one of his records. I don't like this new record personally.
Really?
I just think it's weird when people put out like dead guys like music that wasn't finished.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
strange
Is it
thought.
noticeably unfinished?
No. I mean, it's like hip
Well,
hop.
nowadays you can finish a record. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah.
not like back
Dude,
in the day,
especially
where
hip hop
it's like-
producers, like you could spread that
Yeah.
stuff so far and wide that like multiple people will just come up with their own
Good point,
versions.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so like I'm new to the world of hip hop, and it's all like It's so different from the way metal works, at least like the production and shit and like the way it works. Cause like metal bands, it's like sometimes you'll see posthumous releases that are like in a sense finished already. And like somebody just took them and like, you know, like I heard there's a new Deeds of Flesh record. Eric Lindmark passed away, but they had it done. They had his vocals done for it. And they're just like putting out finishing touches and they're going to put that out, which will be the shit.
Interesting.
You know, but it's like with metal, it's more of like a true to form thing. With hip hop, with some of these guys who are so fucking big, sometimes I look at it and I'm like, this is totally a fucking cash grab. It's just people trying to make money. Cause like there was that rapper, XXX Tentacion, and he got in a bunch of trouble because he was like hitting his girlfriend and shit. But like he was like on the highest wave of that like emo SoundCloud rap type shit.
Oh yeah.
And I want to say they already have like 2 or 3 post-death albums. Because these guys record so many little ideas. Jesus. It's like, you remember when Bulb like did all of his SoundCloud stuff, which is now coming out on Spotify and stuff. Like it's essentially the same idea as that. It's like these guys have all these weird, just working ideas. Sometimes they'll connect them and just make like a 2-minute song out of it. It's really weird how those albums work sometimes. And most of the time when I hear them, I'm just like, this just feels like lifeless and strange. And like, it's weird. It's weird hearing songs from a person that's already like dead.
Right. And it's weird that it's unfinished and it's like, there's no way of knowing. They probably wouldn't have left that on the record.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way they would have left. Like some of the shit is so bad. It's like, they knew they weren't going to leave that on the record. Right. It was on the cutting floor for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then you just put it out there because it's like, oh, you recognize this name. Yeah. And they're gone. So, you know, buy it.
Like whoever owns the rights to it, you know. You know, his property is the one releasing it, you know. Yeah. So, shame on them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're probably making money.
For sure, shame on them.
Like, I guess, like.
I mean, some of these guys have kids and shit like that. So, hopefully they're getting the money or at least some of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That was like the whole thing with Prince and like his estate when they were trying to figure out who really owned it, who didn't own it, and then whoever had it at one point took it off streaming.
Yeah.
And then I believe it switched hands again, and now it's back to streaming. And because it's Prince, like that, talk about it out there. So like,
and his catalog, which is huge.
Amazing.
Enormous.
Yeah.
And even like his more recent stuff, like, people kind of forget that he kept making music. Like,
he never stopped.
Like the year he died, like he was putting out music, and it was actually really good sometimes. Like, people forget that like he wasn't just great in the 80s.
Yeah, he's
awesome.
awesome.
He had a resurgence in the last couple years before he died, where he was putting out good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it was maybe like, you know, some of it was like a little gospel-y or, you know, whatever, or little. But I mean, he had some funk stuff that was.
Hell yeah.
You know, that was awesome.
Yeah, I love that, man. Yeah, Prince is great. He's the shit. Paul loves Prince. I mean, he talked about it on our show.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah. Fucking wild.
I can't think of other artists that I've ever listened to where they may have died in the process.
And released it after.
I mean,
I'm sure there are some.
The closest thing I think of right now is Deftones, but they never released that album.
Yeah.
That the bass player is on.
But there's talks of that happening now.
Supposedly, but one of the guys came out and said like...
Didn't they release a song from it?
I don't think so. I think they said it just wasn't finished.
Yeah.
That was the other thing. And they're just like, well, we don't want to like really go back in.
Well, they have a new record that's done now.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I know they're talking about putting one out.
Yeah. But I don't think, I forgot, they have a name for that album, but I don't think it's ever going to see the light of day. If it does, it'll be way, way, way down the road. That'll
be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird when bands do shit like that. Just make an unacceptable, like Wu-Tang. Who the fuck else? There was another band that did something like that. It just got shelved, never came out, and it's like, wow. Gojira did that with like an EP or something.
Really?
Yeah, they were doing like some benefit EP for like whales, helping out sea life and shit, and it never happened. It never came out. Yeah, I don't know.
But it does exist or whatever, like out there.
Yeah, and apparently like Devin Townsend is on it, and a bunch of other like big ass dudes are on it.
Well, one of the more famous ones that I remember growing up was somewhere out there. It cannot be released for legality reasons, but it's like Trent Reznor, Tom Morello, Adam Jones.
Oh, I heard about this. Yeah,
because they were all friends back in like the 80s and 90s when they were all coming up and so they jammed together.
Nice.
Did an album, but the problem was they were all on different labels, and their labels are like, I want a cut of this. No, I want a cut. You can't release it. And they're like, fuck it. Or then we're just not going to release it. And it still has somehow not seen the light. Like, how is nobody like Like,
You
hey, let
think
me
somebody
see
would've leaked
that.
it.
Rip it and just put it out there because good
People
or
leak
bad would be
everything.
amazing
You would-
to hear, you know?
They have to have that shit on lockdown.
Yeah. So somebody, I mean, they also came out in an era of everything was still analog. So I'm sure.
There are like master tapes that like are literally locked in a lockbox.
I'm sure. Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's probably never even seen digital, which is why it's never been,
Probably not. Yeah.
Leaked at all. But that's like one of the biggest ones I can think of from back then. I remember everybody would always talk about because like one of them spilled the beans by like some random interview and they're like, yeah, I'm good friends with like this guy and that guy. And yeah, we jammed and we made an album. I was like, what? And then of course everyone's like, where the fuck is it? And
Yeah, it never happened.
yeah, it couldn't happen.
Yeah. Well,
Who knows? You think by now, like all those guys have so much money that they could probably just buy
buy the tapes
whatever
and put it
the
out.
rights
Yeah.
and the tapes and stuff. Yeah, but who knows?
maybe one day.
Maybe it turned out that it's all really bad because they were all so fucked up on drugs that they're like, oh,
So
this
they're
sucks.
just like, can we just bury this
Yeah, we'll just
forever?
tell everybody that we can't do it. Yeah.
Who
that's
sang on
it.
that record?
Trent Reznor.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Nine Inch Nails is sick too, man.
Yeah.
You like him?
Oh, I love Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah.
That was one of the, I mean, the bands growing up that like, it's like the reason I like so much weird shit is like I liked Nine Inch Nails. I liked Sonic Youth when I was like
Oh yeah.
Oh,
12
okay.
years old. Like I found Nirvana and Sonic Youth. I was just like, I just like the weirdest shit I can find, I guess.
Right.
So just
Who's the
keep
guy?
finding it.
Thurston Moore? Is that the
Thurston
dude from
Moore
Sonic Youth?
and Lee Ronaldo.
Okay.
Amazing, and they play in weird guitar tunings.
oh yeah,
awesome.
Thurston
They're
played in
geniuses.
he played in that Twilight black metal supergroup band.
Yes.
He played on their last album, and I think Stavros from Atlas Moth was
Atlas
involved in that and
Yes,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah. That band was real fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard that record before.
Twilight, they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their first two records I like a lot. It's always been weird, like black metal collaborations. Like
Yeah.
they had like the dude from Leviathan, they had the dude from Xasther on the first record. Second record's really cool. They had the guys from ISIS on it, or one of the guys from ISIS, and Stavros was on that. I think Blake from Nocmistium and shit.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, a bunch of shit. Like guys that you probably and guys from here, I think. But it's cool.
It's
really
fascinating.
cool records.
I love when metal bands like because they like to incorporate like an oddness to it.
Oh
Like,
yeah, hell yeah.
What is it? I bought one of the only metal records that I have is Sumac.
Oh
with,
hell yeah.
KG Haino.
Sure, yeah.
From Fushit Sutra,
Yeah.
and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a great record, and then just like that added chaos.
Yeah, that is a
Of,
sick album.
Yeah, so good.
Sumac's the shit, dude.
I bought like I love that because I was into KG Haino before that, and then I was just like I think I like Sumac too, so I bought a couple of their other records, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
because I'm not a huge metal guy, but it's like when I hear something I like, it's just like this.
Oh hell yeah.
They go down that
grab
rabbit
onto
hole.
it. It's like
Who's the driving force of Sumac? Who's that guy?
I think it's the same dude from ISIS.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Aaron
is it?
Turner?
Aaron
Is it that
Turner.
guy? Yeah.
yeah, fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
He's an interesting character.
Well, ISIS was on.
ISIS I really like too. That was one of the
Yeah.
ones that I discovered at one point. I was just like, okay, like I get this.
At the end of their career, they were on Mike Patton's label.
Yes.
Epicac. Yeah.
Oh, and a huge Mike
Oh,
Patton
cool.
fan.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Mr. Bungle and
Yes.
shit, so I figured as
Yeah,
much.
oh, yeah.
Didn't they just re-record their like first album or something like that?
Something like that,
They're
yeah.
gonna put it out.
And
Yeah. Yeah. You know what?
well, circus core. I don't know what the fuck you call that, but it's like circus
Yeah.
music
Pretty out
meets
there.
thrash.
Yeah, dude, the Faceless, that like all those circusy parts on like
That's all.
yeah, it's
bad
all Mr.
worship.
Bungle shit. Yeah, it's all Mr. Bungle shit. And they're like a huge. I mean, first time I heard of Mr. Bungle was because one of the guitar players from Meshuggah was wearing a Mr. Bungle shirt in some video I saw.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like,
That's
oh,
how it
this-
happens, though. It's like a lot of
Right.
the stuff I like. It's like I got into a lot of. The reason I know who Sonic Youth is because of that episode of The Simpsons, the
Sure.
Hullabalooza episode,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
where I mean, Sonic Youth is in the episode, but they have the Daydream Nation poster in
cool.
the record store there, and I saw that. I remember seeing it at the Coconuts, I think. Actually,
Oh, hell yeah.
Fuck
if
yeah.
you remember.
Hell yeah.
And I remember seeing Daydream Nation. I'm like, I remember that
The
from The
Coconuts
Simpsons.
on
I'm gonna
fucking-
buy it.
Hell
And
yeah.
that was it.
Would you go to the Coconuts on Harlem and Lake? That one?
No, I went to the one in Cermak Plaza.
Oh,
Berwyn.
okay. Fuck yeah. Is
Yeah.
that where you're from? You're from Berwyn?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Fucking Berwyn, man.
Yeah.
Fucking coconuts, man.
Berwyn.
Yeah, you
Dated
remember when you
ourselves
can
on
go
that.
to a place and buy a CD?
Yeah.
Those good old days.
Dude, I
Yeah.
used to go to Coconuts all the time, man.
It was great, and they charged too much, but it was fine.
Dude, I remember.
Whatever.
Yeah, I paid like $18 for my dissection CDs and shit like that. It's like,
but you can go to Best Buy and get it for $10. You know, it's
Yeah.
Dude, towards the I always talk about this. I've been talking about this a lot recently with people, but towards the end of Best Buy's like CD carrying capacity, I would buy CDs from there all the time because like new metal records would come out and they put them on there. There would be like $7.99 on release day.
Trying to get rid of it.
I'm just like, well, fuck, I'm gonna go get it.
But they would only have a couple. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like that's why they were selling it for so cheap. It's because there were only a couple of them. But like, and I was the same way. It's like the bands that I liked, they only had a couple because it was a big release, so they had to put it out. But it's like they didn't expect anyone to buy it, and I'm sitting there going, I'm gonna buy that shit.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I think it was
That's for me.
I think it was Jack that was telling me once because Jack worked for Best Buy, and at one point he had some sort of input on like if like what CDs could be like bought, and so he'd be like like he would pick out a bunch of random ass metal ones that he wanted, and would just like snagged, you know.
Yeah.
I was
like you got at least
move.
2 sales out of this one, so I'm gonna buy those.
Yeah.
And then I forgot. I think it was Tom was looking for some album. Went to Best Buy, and like he's like he couldn't find it, but he's like this has to be here somewhere. And like asked like one of the dudes working there. He's like, "Do you know if there's like a copy of this?" And then he was like, and he like looked at him and goes, "Yeah, there's it says there's 3 of them." And he goes, "Well," he's like, "They're not." And then he goes, "Oh, maybe they sold." And like he like looked over and it was on the fucking counter, like hidden away. And he's like, "Oh, what's that?" And the kid was like, "Oh, yeah, that's them." Like the kid like hid them for like him and his buddies. And Tom was like, "Give me one of those, motherfucker."
You can have 2. I just want that other one.
I just want one. He's got one guy. He's
Well,
like,
Best Buy used to always offer to order shit too. They're like, yeah, we could get it in. We could get it in.
right.
You know, that's
would
what
do
all
that
those places
too.
were. Yeah, hell yeah. I used to do that at Borders when Eric's mom was managing Borders.
nice.
on
And you know
Highway
what
Lake.
Borders had? Are any of them left, or is that
No, that's gone.
completely
No, yeah, I think they're all gone.
They
Barnes
had
and Noble took them over.
Insane record selection.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as CDs, like when I was buying CDs, I'd go there, and they would have some like jazz stuff, like weird, like because I was in an avant-garde like phase at that time, like my early 20s. I was in college playing, jazz guitar.
Sure.
And they would have this weird avant-garde stuff. I'm like, why do they have this?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad they do. I'm buying
Somebody was like, "Yeah, go ahead, put that on."
Yeah,
the
somebody
floor."
there was just like, yeah, everyone loves John Coltrane. Let's put everybody loves Ornette Coleman. Let's put those records out there.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's sick. I mean, and I know Barnes and Noble sells vinyl now. Brody.
Oh yeah,
texted me.
it's actually kind of amazing. They have a pretty solid selection.
Yeah.
Of vinyl.
Brody texted me. He texted me. He picked up a copy of Kid A by Radiohead on vinyl.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck, that's sick. Where did you get it? And he was like, Borders or Barnes and Noble, LOL. And he was like, it was really sick. He was like, I got really high and went in there and bought it. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, it is cool. I'd buy Kid A on vinyl. I love that record. But
It's a great record.
Yeah.
I have that one on vinyl. I have most of Radiohead was
Awesome
one
band.
of the first. It was like close to where it's like where I discovered Sonic Youth and like the Flaming Lips and shit.
Okay. Yeah.
I then discovered Radiohead, and then you went to Morton, right?
No, I went to Fenwick.
Oh, you went to, okay.
Yeah.
My video teacher at Morton turned me on to Boredoms and John Zorn because I told him I liked Flaming Lips and Radiohead, and he was like, "You're gonna like this really weird stuff."
Wow,
So he
that's
turned me on to
awesome.
that. That's what really like changed, because I got into all this stuff, and I was just like, I hate pop music,
Fair enough.
and
Yeah.
I hated what was going on in rap and hip hop at the time too, because I liked the stuff from the '90s,
Mhm.
and it wasn't like that anymore. So all of a sudden, he was like, "You got to hear this crazy noise shit." And that was just like the
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
that was it after that. I went from liking like kind of weird indie rock to and like some heavy stuff to just like, what's gonna make your parents mad that you have it
Right.
on? And I'm just like, oh, I want to listen to that.
Make them go, "Why the hell are you
Yeah,
listening?"
why is there a
Yeah.
buzzing in my ear?
What do you like about
constantly?
that?
Yeah. Thankfully, my parents were never like that, man. They never were.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
I was
never had a
rebelling against
problem.
nothing. My parents
Yeah.
actually didn't care.
Yeah, they didn't give a shit.
My dad
my
was the
folks
one who
didn't
got
care.
me into weird music in the first place. Like
Yeah.
he played me Rush and
Oh, same.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
crazy
That's how he grew up. Yeah.
King Crimson.
Yeah, fuck
Yep.
it. That's exactly how I grew up, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love King Crimson.
King Crimson
They're
is amazing.
Yeah, dude. They're arguably one of my favorite bands of all
Yeah.
time for sure. I just saw them for the first time at the Auditorium Theater last year with
Yeah.
Franco.
Yeah.
We were up
That's
in the
awesome.
seats, and I was just trying to
Insane.
find spots to smoke weed in the venue the whole
In a
time.
very nice venue.
Yeah, and I was like hitting my pen and like putting my head in my t-shirt.
It's funny that apparently the next time we go see shows, that won't be an issue anymore. We can go smoke it anywhere.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
Yeah. But it's fucking, it was awesome seeing them. Even from like, we were in like the nosebleeds of that venue.
Doesn't
like
matter.
The seats you could get. Yeah, it was crazy. And it's so sick to see how much shit they still play live.
Yeah.
Like, from songs that were written in the 60s. It's like nuts, dude. They have like 3 drummers now and they all rip. Mm-hmm. They open with like a drum solo between all 3 of them. And it's just like.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude? I'm 28 already. I'm going to die in like 5 years. And they did this? Like, what the hell? Why even bother?
Right?
Like, yeah.
Like, what are we even doing anymore?
Yeah.
See, I just saw on Facebook, Uriah Heep is putting out a record for the first time since like.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's funny. What is it? The Magician's
great grandfather's death or whatever.
The fucking musician's ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Sponsorship? I don't know.
Yeah. The Wizard's Viagra or some shit.
Dude, the Wizard's fucking birthday, man.
Yeah.
They're on that OG shit. The
they
Wizard's
haven't put out
birthday.
a record since like the 70s. And they're
dude, next time you find a girl
ones.
that you find attractive, Bill, just ask her if she likes Uriah Heep's album, The Wizard's Birthday.
Yeah.
See what kind of reaction they give you.
I don't even
They'll
know.
probably be like, whoa, you're sick, dude.
Like,
what?
Whoa, you like Dungeons and Dragons or something?
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
What are you the coolest guy I've ever met in my entire life?
Dude ever.
Yeah. Fuck yeah,
it's
dude.
a great band. Are you not aware of
Right,
I know the name.
shit.
I've heard the name.
They're
but
an
My
old
dad
band.
was
no
huge
idea.
into like prog rock and stuff, and they were
same.
like, they were like underground. Like, I mean, they were popular at the time, but like they were with like Blue Oyster Cult as far as like kind of like
they were
underground,
older.
weird progressive rock.
They were pretty established in the early 70s. They took Rush out on some of their first tours.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So
okay.
they've been around.
So what happened? Like
they only put out a couple records.
Yeah, they only put
right?
out a
They
couple
like 2
records, and they didn't have the hits that the other bands had. So they kind of, and that was at a time where it's like, if you didn't have hits,
that was it. Progressive rock was like on the rise in the early 70s because King Crimson first 2 records were out in like 69, and then like Rush they started in the early 70s. So it was like coming up. Genesis was coming up and shit, and Uriah Heep like they kind of hit that shit before it kind of fully developed, I feel like, which I think was part of their downfall. But those records
were
are both
releasing
good.
records in like the mid 60s, sort of like
they're old.
they were before. I mean, they were coming out with stuff when like Deep Purple was releasing records. Like,
there you go. Yeah.
So they were kind of there. They were ready to go, and then other bands just like took off ahead of them.
So they're probably more like the catalyst of that.
Yeah. They inspired a lot of huge bands from the 70s.
Dude, fucking Kansas just put out a record.
I'm surprised they're surprised any of them are still alive.
Yeah, wait, how old are the guys in Uriah Heep though?
Those guys.
You know what? I saw a picture of them.
Old motherfuckers.
They are highly photoshopped. But they are very old.
Dude, it's so sick. It's so sick looking at some of these motherfuckers, dude. They like the fucking Steve Howe from Yes, dude.
Yeah.
He looks like the Crypt Keeper.
Really?
Dude, you gotta Google, if you're on his Wi-Fi, just look on your computer, look at a little picture of him.
What was his name?
Steve Howe. It's Howe. He was like ugly back then, but now he like doesn't even look like. It looks like they have to inject him with something to keep him alive, dude. But I love Yes. Like, they're awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've got no problem with Yes either. That was another one of my dad's favorites.
Yeah.
He had...
Yes, yeah, look at this guy, dude.
That's a real human being.
Yeah.
Hold on. Fucking A.
Dude, he like arguably looks worse than dude from the Rolling Stones. What's
Keith
his
Richards?
name? Yeah, dude.
Keith Richards looks like he's in great shape compared to
which
this
is
guy.
insane.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, show him, dude.
Damn.
Yes.
Look at that guy. Are you all right, man?
You all right,
Yeah,
man?
dude.
Like,
Do you need someone to help you when you're taking a shit?
He's been like Weekend at Bernie's for like a while now.
Yeah, it's been like a fucking
he's just propped up
half-year
together.
vacation
Just like,
at
goddamn.
Bernie's. But he did that,
He makes
and he
Larry
was
King
in,
look good. Like, that's rough.
And that is hard to do. Because
he was in Asia too. That's how I found out because
okay.
I listened to the last Asia record John Wetton did. Used to be in King Crimson.
Yes,
The last one he did, and Asia's like substantially way fucking cheesier than Yes and King Crimson. They were like the arena rock version of those bands.
Okay.
But they did this album. I believe the record's called Triple X. It's like 3 X's, and
Good
it's for
movie.
like 30 because I think the band was like 30. I don't know, but like. Steve Howe was on it, and I was watching. They did like a music video for a song, and I was like, "Yeah, I like this record a lot." And then I see him in this video, and I'm like, "Whoa!" Like what the fuck am I watching?
Why did they put him in the video? They could have edited him out completely.
And I was definitely sober when I saw it. I was just like, holy shit, this is so, like, what? This dude is that old? And I went to Google Images and I was just like, oh, man, fuck. I hope he lives. He's still alive though, and that was a long time ago, man. That was like 7 or 6 years ago. Now.
I think he looks older than he is, though.
Yeah, I mean, he looks older than he is for sure.
The guy's probably
he's got to be in his 60s or 70s.
Stuff to himself that's caused him to age considerably.
Well, those Yes guys are in such weird positions. Like John Anderson is not in Yes anymore. He hasn't been for a while, and like I don't know who's playing in that band anymore. I think
it's funny. Some of those old bands, it's like. You look at the picture, like even Uriah Heep, when I saw the picture, there's clearly at least 2 guys that were hired a couple of years ago that are much younger.
73.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, he looks way older than that. Way older than 73. Because my dad is, or my mom is 71, and he doesn't look remotely like that.
No,
like,
that guy looks like he's 105.
Yeah, like that guy's pickled. That's why, like that's what happened.
That's
there.
A great description. He's
like,
definitely
holy
pickled.
Shit.
He's pickled and then like dried. Like he's both.
Oh yeah. Jesus.
Wow.
Like a piece of jerky. Like, just dehydrated the fuck out of him.
He was way too hydrated and salted and the water then dehydrated.
Like, oh man. 73, man.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, these guys.
If it said 93, I'd be like, oh yeah, that sounds about right. Wow.
Well, sweet. Fuck, man. I'm baked. Shit. Talking about these old guys too.
Still going. Good for them.
I know.
It
feels
good. I mean, it makes me think that 30 years from now, I could be a shriveled up raisin, like making music.
Right?
Yeah, dude. Which is sick. Because some dudes still are all about it. I am.
I know. I'm friends with older dudes who still make music. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Keep fucking doing it.
I think it's one of those things where if you're doing it, you're probably never going to really stop doing it. Especially when you're like, you get to that age. Like we've always talked before on this show where it's like you hit like that age of like your early 20s where it's like people are going off to college or whatever. And like usually music is done. Like they're no longer a musician. But then you have the guys that are still playing and it's like, if they're still doing it now, by the time they're like almost 30 or in their 30s, probably going to keep doing it.
Even if it's a hobby, like you do open mics
even as a hobby.
It's like, it's still something fun that they're going to do.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. But I've had other dudes that like, they just gave it up. Yeah. It's crazy. It's
people who are much better than you are gave it up.
Yeah.
You're going to keep going.
Yeah. And it's like, all right.
Well.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah, definitely. Shit. Well, shall we?
Yeah. What time is it?
Yeah, I don't know. After 9. 9:30, 9:23.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we can.
You want to wrap it up here?
Yeah, sure. Anything you'd like to plug?
Oh, no, I don't do anything.
Even if it's something else, you can't. Like, we were just talking before you got here. His brother does a podcast.
Yeah, sure. Check out Triviality podcast.
Triviality, cool.
I'm on an episode. I don't think it's been released yet. It's a classic Simpsons trivia episode.
Oh, sick.
And I don't do very well, but it's a fun episode, and they're all very funny.
Hell yeah,
that's so cool.
Older brother?
Like Irish twins. He's 15 months older than I.
Oh wow, shit.
So very close.
Funny.
Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And other than that, shop at your local Chicagoland grocery store that I can't name. You know which one I'm talking about, though. I still work for them.
Fair enough. Cool.
You got anything?
Me? Same shit. Something's waiting.
Yeah. I got nothing, really.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're quarantined. What are we going to do?
Yeah. Well, we got... COVID era. Who's coming up for the Free-for-All music episode?
Sky.
Sky is.
Yeah, my old drummer.
So we'll have to pick those by next week then, right?
Yeah, next week episode. Who we're going to have Lauren on.
Okay. We're Skyping Lauren?
Yeah, because he's from Wisconsin.
Hell yeah. He ain't coming down here.
And then see, because he knows Gobo really well, so I might actually get Gobo.
Oh, fuck yeah.
As well. Yeah, so it'll be fun. Yeah, that's it. Cool. Larry, thank you so much.
All right,
thanks for coming on, man.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
I love that you guys clicked with like the music like this. That's awesome.
That's great. I was so happy to, because I've just been working especially since quarantine.
I'm
working like
Yeah.
6-7 days a week.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm
Jesus.
so sick of having conversations with my coworkers.
Right.
It's nice to sit with people.
Just talking
Right.
about music. Yeah.
Talk about anything else, right?
Yeah, it's fun. I like talk about music and all that shit.
Right.
This
Yeah.
is great.
Gives you
This
some
is
normalcy.
more
you know?
for me than it was for you guys.
Hell yeah.
Well, we love doing it, man.
Cool,
yeah.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for
Great.
coming, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening.
See
We'll catch you
everybody,
next time.
Next week. Bye.
All right. No wrong answers. Nothing's for no one. It's an amazing podcast. People just talking about great music. And just subscribe, comment, click the bell. You know what to do.
Yeah.